Alrighty then. Welcome to another episode of Let's Just Talk About It. And it is We Are What's Left Wednesday. And today we have an amazing, beautiful host, free to be me. And we'll be talking about foreign policy, national security, MAGA Trump derangement syndrome, in the future of the Democratic Party. The panel is open to those who want to add to the discussion, as well as anybody who wants to oppose the discussion as well. Free usually does debates in her live, so it's pretty much like we're running free live over here. So you guys can get to know her more, what she stands for, and get a piece of her knowledge, her brain. Okay, very intelligent woman that we are speaking with today, with a lot of good experience in these topics as well. So I'm glad to be able to have you here, Free. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I am good. I am good. I am surviving this economy one way or another. And I'm always figuring out ways to reinvent myself and improve on myself. So
Mhm.
that's what I'm using this time for.
Mhm.
There's always a 3.0, the 4.0, something to achieve.
I definitely agree with that. We're forever growing, learning, becoming better. This is one of my favorite things to do. Growth is not always easy, but it's always worth it. So
Agreed. Agreed.
usually,
Agreed.
just give us a quick little background about Free and things that you're passionate about.
Oh, so I'm 20 years former government, also a military vet. I've done foreign policy, human rights law, crisis response, and weapons sales for most of my career. I worked at USAID, DOD, DHS for FEMA, and Department of State. I've worked on things such as the Doha Agreement, the evacuation of Afghanistan, sales for Ukraine, as well as human rights law violations in South Korea, China, and Japan. I started my journey by living overseas. I wanted to be a marine biologist. And
Somebody else
then
wanted to be a
and then
marine biologist. I think it was Saji, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, and then I moved to Germany at the age of 7 and had the Berlin Wall fall around me. And then shortly after that, the fall of Yugoslavia. And with that, like it kind of changes you because you see people struggling and you don't like that. So it was really like, dang, you're so stupid. It
I
was
know,
really like,
that's
it was really like impactful. But then I think I was 9. I think when I was talking to my friends who I went to school with, I think we were like 9 when they took us to Dachau and Auschwitz. And in case you haven't, with that, I was living in Germany, and so we had access to these things. I didn't go to just an American school. I went to an international school as well. So I wasn't getting just a American perspective of global events. I was getting a global event or global perspective of everything that's going on. So I was hearing all sides and stories. So when I joined the government, I came from this background of understanding things as a foreign, how a foreign person may see it, a military perspective, and just a human perspective. And that's what I use to make the decisions and make advise on policy for the federal government for the last 3 presidents. That's what I use to guide myself in how I answered and how I navigated through the government. That's it in a gist. The other thing I'm passionate about, only because I was not so fortunate, and maybe it's a good thing, is I also talk about fertility issues and IVF for everybody, not just women. I believe in starting your family, however you want your family to look, be you single, be you bi, be you whatever. I try to help people find ways to cut some of that cost down. So those are the two things. That's what brought me to TikTok, honestly.
really.
Yeah, I wasn't now and then I would, like, give little, like, demarcations or state something on something that was going on, but it was really more so dancing and chatting, on IVF and helping women understand, like, "Look, I'm 46, I'm about to have a baby. Do not put timelines on your goals." As an older mom, I'm the role model in the house. She has thank you. She has a role model in the house. She sees the successful woman in the house. I'm not saying that the home domestic engineer can't be a role model. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying she saw the things she knows she'll be able to see the things that I've impacted. She'll be able to see the things that I actually assisted with,
Mhm.
and understand her there's no cap on her ceiling.
Yeah.
And I didn't even, and I was actually intimidated to do more. I was very kind of because of trauma that hit me. I was very kind of like a stunted person. So there's some things that I wanted to do that I never did because I doubted myself. But if I doubted myself and I still got this far, I think I still achieved something regarding being a good role model.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
And even think about all the things that you accomplished with doubting yourself, because a lot of women, especially a lot of black women, black people, we have imposters. Sometimes have imposter syndrome. So with all the things that you accomplished with that, just imagine the things you do once that's out of the way, right?
Yeah, I definitely had that challenge when I worked in national security for non-proliferation. And I showed up and it was like my second day on the job. I was the only female in the office other than the secretary. And they were questioning my presence of being there. They were questioning my background, were questioning if I had the capacity to do this. Like, I've done this in other fields. The only difference is that I need your guidance as a mentor to help me on this specific subject matter. I've
Mhm.
done it everywhere else. It's just the subject matter I'm not as familiar with. And instead of mentoring me, there was like, well, should she even be here in the first place? She doesn't even have the fundamentals. Like, once I tell them my age, I've literally pulled my own managers in offices with HR. I'm like, "Hey, let's go in here." I tell everybody, be you military or civilian, know your rights, know your HR rights, because they will use that as an intimidation factor to try to belittle you as a person, as a woman, especially. And if you know your rights, and when my supervisor, my senior supervisor was talking down to me, I said, you know, do you mind saying that in paper in an email and let's take that over to HR? I think
Mm.
HR has something to say about that. What about
Mhm.
you? All of a sudden it's a different game change. It's a game changer when they know that you know your rights. Or if they say something that, like, they give you constant little nicks or try to discriminate against you, hmm, pattern of behavior, apples to apples. I'm the only one being treated like this. Let's go into HR and talk about this. And I don't
Mhm.
want any more discussions between you and I, baby. Anytime we talk from now on, per law, I'm allowed to have a mediator there. I want the HR representative there anytime something comes out of your mouth towards me.
Mm.
And that changes everything. People stop trying to be microaggressive to you and passive aggressive to you, because then they know that you know your shit.
Mhm.
Know your rights, know your HR, know your civil rights, know your EEO qualification, know it all, because that's how you protect yourself.
Yeah.
I wish a
You're
motherfucker
absolutely
would.
right, but know that before you even know what the job is, okay? Because the thing is, I used to have that like, "Oh, I don't know if I could do that," but girl, if I'm getting a new job, they have training. They'll teach me what I need to know. But the thing is, like you say, the people who are not intimidated by what you will learn and what you will do, and they can see your potential already. All you're missing is the information. They don't want to give it to you. They want to make you belittle you and make you feel like you can't do it because really, at the end of the day, they see you taking their job if you have the information. Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah. So I've literally had somebody say that to me.
Mhm.
I
Same.
swear, sometimes women are our worst enemies in the federal government. And it is so hard to break through to some of them, because we have to remember there's a generation of women that came in the government where they were the only women there, and they were treated so horribly that they're jaded. And then they were taught white male patriarchal syndrome to compete against each other instead of being our allies. I want you as my mentor. You're not going to be here forever. I got 30 years less. I'm younger than you. By the time I'm in your position, you will retire. See me as your legacy. Don't see me as your
Mm.
enemy.
Ooh, come on, perspective. Hey,
I
cred. Hey,
literally
KGR.
said that to her. So when you see, like, as a Gen Xer and as older millennials, that's something that I'm really happy we didn't gain that kind of view from our boomer generation. This is not the half pints coming behind us. That's your potential legacy in whatever you do. And whatever you do, groom them, give them the tools they need,
Mhm.
empower them so that when you leave, you know shit's gonna be taken care of. To this day, I will say Valerie Dixon Horton is my mentor and my second mom because she took me under her wing and she showed me how to defend myself legally.
Mm. That's her legacy.
Damn right.
I love that. So with the things that are going on in foreign policy today, what's some of the things that are the most disturbing with Trump?
Trying to take credit for stuff that other countries do, and people don't realize the side effect of that. Trying to take credit for what's going on with Kashmir, and in case people don't know what Kashmir is, that's the real name of the war between Pakistan and India. It's actually not a war between Pakistan and India. It's a war between Pakistan, China, and India, and it's called the Kashmir War.
Mhm.
And trying to take credit for something. Notice that he's not going into these conversations with a lot of dialogue. When I worked under him, I would we would have to dumb down our narrative, despite the fact he would have advisors.
Mm.
And the other part of this is that this respect on national security. When Trump came into office, his first 4 years, he leaked classified information on allies to Russia.
Hmm.
That's a point blank period. Boom.
Mm.
He leaked information on British intelligence operations to Russia, on Russia, on Russia. So there was a situation also when he had Putin had this old enemy, and that person was living in the UK. I just can't think of his name right now. Maybe it's the brain freeze. Um, he he traced the same element that they used for Kim Jong Un's brother and for the other Russian gentleman who was working to um, fight against Putin. It's a it's a toxin that you touch, and his daughter and himself touched this and became ill. This was done on British soil. And so they were running an intelligence operation to discover how that happened. And Trump leaked some of that information along with some other stuff that I can't talk about.
Mhm.
Nice, and thank you. Um, uh, Other intelligence stuff to the British to Russia on the British that put some of their operations under. I am so concerned about our national security. I'm so concerned about it when it comes to his relationships with North Korea, China, Turkey, um, Russia, Poland, and Hungary. I'm very concerned about that because if you look at the similarity, they're all tyrants or more of an autocracy kind of ideology behind them. Hungary and Poland aren't completely there, but they're trying to do it. Hungary and Poland have been written up in the EU, the European Union, several times
Mhm.
regarding some of their behavior. And that was
Mhm.
all prior to him. So for him, the moment he started
Is it
idolizing them, I
well,
was just
Hungary,
like,
was it
oh.
under the dictator that they're under now? The things that they were
Yes,
written up for?
yeah. Well, no, 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 no. It wasn't under him. He hadn't won the election. What they were doing is they were doing discrimination on age and other things within their country that was getting the EU's attention. So it wasn't this right here. It wasn't this. He was not the leader at that time. So he was not that. And now we have, yeah, exactly. Now we have like incompetent people who would never get a security clearance under any other normal detail leading very very secure operations. We call them OPSEC. So I just when I think of the casualness to keeping confident, like that, there's like, I think you can tell there's things I haven't even disclosed to you guys. I
Yeah.
will never disclose that to you guys.
Mhm.
When I'm talking about sometimes people like, you're talking around the skirts of something. Yeah, I am, because I still value national security and I know who's
Even though
watching
they
these
don't.
apps all the time.
Even
Yeah.
though,
And
they put it on the signal gate. I mean, even on signal gate.
yeah, Signalgate. Yeah, I've joined Signalgate now. So if you want to join, and hopefully Pete invites us to one of his meetings, come on over. Come on over.
Maybe my number will get picked. You just never know. Soon they putting
Maybe
out random
you
fucking numbers
never
in the chat.
know. Exactly. That right there was a huge thing for me and still is. And when that happened, I said, watch. Any type of person that's willing to have that type of conversation over a low side, what we call low side or non-classified app, they're willing to say other things. And sure enough, find out he was talking to all these other people after the fact too. That's a total security violation. And so for me, that that just my husband's a pilot. He was a pilot for the Navy. Your call sign is very specific to each pilot. In addition to that, because your call sign is very specific, they can tell where you launched out of or where you deployed from, be it a ship, be it another base somewhere. They can track you back. And then all they need to know is hear different tidbits of other conversations for the other person who was on that line because it wasn't secure. They find that IP address. That's
Mm,
it. And then
mm.
they're just tapping your phones up from that. It's that sick.
So what does that mean
So
for like
yeah,
our safety? Like when it comes to like
that's that's the concern. Like when you think about how he immediately terminated people who were on nuclear, the nuclear sites for nuclear weapons and stuff like that. I'll just say this: I was so deep into this when you guys didn't have your phone operating at the world end. I did. That's how deep I was.
mm.
You couldn't call me back. I could. That's not. That's the summary. That's the summary. I my life out very strategic.
Could we recover from this?
It's going to take about 15, 20 years. And the reason why is because of the legislation that you're going to have to deal with. Also the animosity towards other people. When we look at different conflicts, especially when it comes from coming from a democracy to an autocracy, every movement to that once it comes closer to center is about conflict. So if we get so high up on that bell curve or to that center, you can't avoid anything but violence at that point. And that's what I really would like for us not to reach. I don't want us to get to violence. But anything before that, you're looking at maybe an 8 to 12 year turnaround. Anything after that, you're looking at 20 to 40 year turnaround
So
because
it's
you're
like
going to have to gut your system.
so it's like, you know, I'm speaking into existence. Our next Democratic president is gonna have to spend their entire fucking term, possibly 2 terms, fixing this
Undoing.
shit instead of pushing us
And that's
forward.
if they get it, Jess. Because here's the issue. Um, Also, when he left office the first time, he left behind his minions. Some of his minions were able to qualify for those positions because they did have the skill set for it, and some of them didn't. I met people who totally lied about their resume and got positions.
Mm.
I met people who totally lied about their resumes, got
Are they
caught on
not vetting?
CNN. No, they're not vetting. That's why, like, if I went down this conspiracy theory road, if I take what and like just don't take this too serious, guys. But if I take what Christy Nome said and said, "Oh, let's make a reality show about getting citizens," and if I take in concept what Trump said about having the purge being a good idea, and if I take in concept about half of the people who are in these high-level positions don't have the qualifications and paid for those positions, especially staffers at Doge, DOE, was it Ed McMahon's wife, not qualified for. How did they get those positions?
Hmm.
So why for me, the way I think, okay, those are for the really multimillionaires. What about the small timers that have an obsession towards hunting and bullying people? Where would they go? They would pay their way to get a position at ICE.
Mm. Mm.
That's where my brain goes
Mm.
because I'm thinking of the criminality of it, of getting your kicks and your knocks off.
Yeah,
That's
'cause
how I think.
that's what I said. It's a lot of Hey, short
So
skirt,
for
welcome
me,
in, love.
hey, short skirts. We're looking at an administration that is not vetting. And if you have not listened to that Russell Voigt interview, tell me you heard that Russell Voigt interview.
Mm-mm. Which one? Hold on.
Where
I
he
don't know
comes
their names. So that could
Russell
be a
Voigt
thing.
was a former he was he's a mega mind behind Project 2025. In addition to that, some
Oh, I
British
know, I know.
people,
Hold on.
yeah.
Give me his name again.
Russell, Russell, Vought.
They said, you know
Yes,
how
he
they be
was in the
like,
last administration.
you know how they used to like Biden's not the president, somebody else is running it. They said that this is the real
He
president.
admits it. He admits it. He admits that they're building a shadow government to this climate nonprofit organization based out of Britain. He admits it. He admits it. And that's why right now my lives, like the way I'm handling this is this. Look, I feel like some people are downplaying what's happening because they don't understand how fragile democracy is. And I've been having anxiety attacks since Obama because I saw the animosity from Sarah Palin and her rhetoric growing. So I've been having anxiety attacks since then. So then when you think you're dealing with a C-level kind of mentality, and you're actually dealing with an A+ level mentality of radicalization, you're undermining the steps that you need to take. And so you're just allowing the self-harm to continue towards democracy until you're willing to accept the fact that this is the type of mentality I'm dealing with, and this is what I have to do in order to take care of it. You are doing nothing but putting a band-aid off of a lost limb, and at the same time taking pew-pews in the shoulder. Like, I need us to wake up. I need us to snap the fuck out of this.
Mm-hmm.
I need us to wake up because we do this to every other country. The Al them Talibs, which is student in Arabic, um, the Greek Egyptian goddess Isis, all these other organizations that were radicalized by the internet, that were radicalized. This is my other big international fear of what that's impacting us domestically. All these other organizations were radicalizing their youth. So by the time their youth became old enough to do something, they could take action. They were so gone
Mm-hmm.
that it's really hard to erase that.
Yeah.
Now you have those people in positions of power. In addition to that, willing to be these idiots are willing to be foot soldiers. So tell me,
That's all they
why
know.
is it that
The homeschool to politician
exactly?
pipeline. They homeschool you, teach you
Because you
only what you
watched
want to
it.
know. Yep.
Because you
Baby,
watched it.
let me tell you,
You're like,
I'm doing
I
my
said
white history
no.
because the word on the street is most of the people in positions of authority or higher positions in the Heritage Foundations, they all have studies in African American, have degrees in African American studies. So, bitch, if I have to do it my damn self, I've been studying white folks like it ain't
Know
nobody's
your
business.
enemy. And I met the Heritage Foundation in 2019. I
Hold
was
on, really
there.
quick. Did you
Uh-huh.
hear that Florida is putting Turning Point in all their high schools? They're putting a Turning Point program. They partner with Turning Point to put the program in all of their high schools in Florida. Did y'all know that? And they said you can't discriminate. And if
Adam,
you discriminate, this guy's going to send you a nasty gram, and then they're going to put the hammer down.
I like if I talk about my time in Florida, it will insult people. So I don't think I should talk about. My mom said if you don't have something nice to say, don't say nothing at all. But sometimes I say fuck it. Florida's education system has been shit for a while. I went to FIU and I went to USF. While there, I didn't study a fucking lick because all the shit they were teaching me in the high school. I went to Broward Community College, FIU, and USF. I learned that shit in high school.
Yeah, you like, what am I
I
doing?
learned it in high school.
Taylor said that she went to college in Oklahoma and the math that they were teaching was like literally like 2 plus 2 is 4. So like, bitch, what are we doing teaching elementary? What the fuck am I gonna learn from here? Like even their colleges is shit. But okay. Anyways, you was about to say something before that part I interrupted you and I felt like it was gonna be good and I hated I interrupted
I
you.
don't remember what it was. Hold
What was
on.
she saying, y'all, right before I said something?
Oh, I was talking about how when we talk about the radicalization of these people,
Mm-hmm.
and we call it an escalator theory, and it's taking people up different flights, or an elevator theory. First level is this type of radicalization, saying these little words that, like, you and I may go, "Oh my God, did you really just say that? That's atrocious." Where somebody else would be like, "Oh, that's kind of weird, but I guess." They then home in on that person
Mm-hmm.
and they keep working and nurturing that person to a level of radical thought or ideology that makes them go from cognitive to behavioral. That's how every T group works out there. That's how all of them recruit. And do you know how those T groups do you know who they really home in? the desperate. This is why refugee camps are very frequently taken advantage of. This is why war torn countries, you keep seeing this lather, rinse, and recycle of blaming somebody. That's why you see all of this happen, because when people are desperate, just like in Germany, when they're desperate, that was coming out of World War I, that was after the Versailles Agreement, that was after the Marshall Plan. They had been punished significantly. It became a very poor country. People became desperate and looked for anything for inspiration. And these white fragile fucking people here in the United States, the moment that they have to share something, they go to that state of mind instead of war. It
Mhm.
takes so little to piss them off here that they're willing to go to that level of, oh, we have to stop them. And this is why every fucking day for the past week, I have read the Turner Diaries, which is the Aryan Bible. Because until you are willing to accept who it is that you're working with, you're not going to fix anything.
Mm.
You're not going to fix anything. You have to read the Turner Diaries. If you
I
have
got.
not, you are missing out.
Where you read them at? Is it on Audible?
You can find a copy online. I know Auntie T put a copy in. I think we put a copy in my folder on Ujima.
Mhm.
I know I have it on my own Discord. People are actually finding ways to buy the book. Just be advised, it is on an FBI hit list book. It is a banned book,
Mm.
so you can't find it at Amazon or anything like that. You got to go
Yeah,
surf the
that sounds
internet
like
for it.
something you try to read online. Oh, maybe I was reading
I
it.
have read it. I
Did
have a
they? Did
copy
you get
online. I can
flagged?
share it with you.
Okay, yeah.
No,
Y-
no,
Also too,
I haven't
when I
read.
was watching The Family on Netflix, you guys, when I was watching The Family
Hmm.
on Netflix, they talk about like uh the big president's breakfast or dinner or something they have with every whatever. They talk about how America would go to these war torn countries and spread Jesus. The goal was to spread Jesus everywhere. But if they go to a war torn country and these people save you with money and weapon, they give you weapons. Go figure, Jesus. They give you weapons and they give you food and they say all you have to do is follow Jesus. You'll think that Jesus saved you because you're in the shit. And that's how they get everybody to that's how they colonize. That's how they get everybody to like, "Oh, yeah, America's this, America's that, Jesus is great." I will spread that gospel, especially if you tell the person in power, "Hey, I'll give you money and weapons if you spread this, whatever, whatever, whatever." And I'm like, that's how they take it like you say, they take advantage of the weak because it's easy to, follow who saved you. You know what I mean? This white savior type shit.
Yeah.
But if
So
you
there's
tear down
two
the countries
books.
and then fucking say I'm gonna
Got
save
to
you. What
take
the fuck?
credit. Yeah, exactly. So what we see Trump doing to this day, but only microdose level. And there's two books you can read that tell you more about this. One is called The Problem from Hell. The Problem from Hell talks directly about what you're talking about: going into countries, destroying them, and then creating additional chaos to be able to be seen as a hero. And the other one is called The White Man's Burden, and that's the savior complex, that they are so superior that they feel that only they can save anybody from the burdens of their society, instead of looking at that and saying, okay, there's got to be a hybrid of this in which we can find some reason, some way to get people to help themselves. And that's honestly what people didn't understand about USAID. In case you guys didn't know it, USAID was much like the Marines. They did not run off a policy from the top. They worked with the locals, had the locals tell them, how can we help your country? What do you need? Tell us how you want us to do it. And then USAID would work from the bottom up. State Department works from the president down. These are my policies. If they want something, they better obey. That's the difference between the two of them. So when they say that USAID was very bureaucratic, gift goal, gift goal,
Thank you. I'm
then
gonna
they
set it for
are
50 hearts,
bullshit.
you guys. It'll probably last a long time. I'm not mad if it don't, but because I know everybody usually sends like a day, not our daily heart me, but a heart hand. So I'm gonna set it at
Wait, are we on Wednesday? So did your gift gallery get taken care of?
not yet, but we already, we make sure we got you, girl. Okay,
No, I'll make sure
we
it's
got the
taken
rest of
care
the
of
week.
every few. Yeah, we're gonna take care of that. You
Hmm.
guys don't forget, if you go to Jess's name in the top corner and then you'll see gift gallery underneath that. If you go into the gift gallery, you have to do all of those series in that gift gallery to get the title, but you can niche them off so that you can get them done by the week, and that launches her up into the next league. Right now, she's a B league. I don't understand how you still B league.
We just be over here cooling and chilling. Hey, Chrissy. Thank you, Zaya.
She
Hey,
should be A league by now.
Tyrone.
So
Come.
those are my international concerns. Those are my international concerns. And with the removal of USAID, we've just allowed more T groups to develop.
Mhm.
Education in the US and education abroad helps stop tea from growing. Because when you understand how to read and write, remember how at the beginning of this I talked about knowing my rights
Mhm.
in the workplace to defend myself. When you know your rights, when you can read your laws and learn how to protect yourself, you can protect yourself in society as well. You can get a job. When I don't know if a lot of people know this, but over 70% of the Muslim or Islamic population, the religion, cannot read Arabic. They
What?
can't read the Quran. They can't read the Quran. They cannot read the Quran.
So were they
So
just
by
listening to what somebody tell them what it should say? But you don't know it's right because that's and I was having this conversation about to somebody,
get it.
even about the Bible. We can still I would I don't know, I say we could read English, but a lot of them can't. But I'm like, y'all
That
don't
was
even know what's in the
limited
Bible
pictures.
because nobody's reading it. Because I got in this conversation with someone near and dear to my heart
Oh, I'm
about
sorry. It's good.
LGBTQ, and I'm like, where in the Bible it says that? Where we talk about abortion? And they're like, it can't be right, but you don't know where because you're respectfully, you haven't read it. You just listened to what the pastor said and you just ran with it. But you don't even know nobody's reading the book, so don't nobody know if it's the truth. Thank you, Chrissy. Hmm. And I assume that they can read, but obviously they cannot. You
So Taylor asked me where hypothetically where I would go. Hypothetically, I would move to Canada so that I can still keep my eye on the US and
Mhm.
help try to recover the country because it's a lot easier being on the same continent. Secondly, if it was just theoretically where I would go, Norway or Sweden.
Sweden.
It'd be one of those.
I
It
spelled
is
that
what it
wrong.
is.
How much?
Sure, Russia's a thread, but
Mm.
you know, yeah. But yeah, that's where I would go.
Mhm.
That's where I would go. Europe, Western Europe right now is having some issues. I love the UK. I love Scotland. I love Ireland. But until I see somebody really willing to step up to this administration and be more rough with them, the same way I see Gavin Newsom, I need to see. I miss Angela Merkel because she would slap Trump around like he was a little toy doll. She would slap
Who?
Putin around like Angela Merkel. She's former prime minister of Germany.
Mm.
You know, when they say women weren't leading, there's
Yeah.
over 37 women heads of states and parliaments and leadership globally. Over 37. And you
Um,
tell us that we can't lead?
I'm with that
Hmm.
queen. Let's just all go by island. When do you think when do you know when is it too late to leave? And when do you know when to leave? Because I have
Okay.
this conversation
Yes,
a
that's a
lot
good
and they're
question.
like, when did the people in Germany know
I
when
would,
to leave?
yeah. So when it's too late to leave is when you see everybody leaving. Because now, like, let's just say, like, and I don't want to make this like some fear kind of conversation or anything, but when everybody's leaving, now you have long lines at the border, you have long lines at the airport. And being that the Trump administration, give me the room. My iPad? Where's your iPad? Mm. Don't break my iPad, girl. Don't break my iPad. Here you go. I'll teach you the code later. Um, the the Trump administration has already put a ban on passports for people in the rainbow, specific people within the rainbow community. And let's
If
just be
y'all don't want them,
clear.
why you won't let them leave?
Yeah, let's just be clear. That's they're the test dummies. That's why you got to read the book. You got to read the book, The Turner Diaries, because this
Yeah.
book that was written in the 80s, it talks about this happening. Everything that we see right now, the Turner Diaries basically projected that we were going to do it. So how you need to see their behavior is that everything they do is projection.
Mhm.
Everything they do is projection.
I
They
said
think
it.
we would do this. They think we would do this, so therefore they're just trying to beat us to the quote unquote punch. But
Of
we're
what
not
they would do.
them.
Yeah, we are
Exactly.
not the
And the
same.
Turner Diaries is
They
a
not like
written
us.
doctrine. The Turner Diary is a written doctrine of saying that this is what they think. It is literally, this book was written in, I think, the late 80s.
I gotta read it. What we're gonna
How
do, you guys, we're gonna read it on. Make sure you're following the YouTube. I'm not even gonna be live here just in case to be safe and whatever is in the book, so I can read it freely. But we're gonna read it on there. So make sure you guys are subscribed there. It may be like a Turner Tuesday, and Tuesday we'll like kind of read if you
It's a
do a couple
short
hours.
read, 280 pages,
Yeah.
quick chapters. They're all written as a diary. We're living in what's right now the before new era. They're waiting for the
Hold on. Do
day of
you
the
read it
vote
on
to
here?
happen. Yeah, I read it.
What days?
Every time I come on live, mostly. If T isn't there, if Auntie T isn't there to help manage it, because I'm not paying attention to the text below, to help keep the weed out, because I'm not focused. I don't care that the right knows I'm reading it. I care that the left knows I'm reading it,
Yeah.
and the left is listening. So when I was gonna go and get this IVF transfer in it, I was like, okay, how do I keep my page up and algorithm going without having high anxiety or something? I'm just gonna read book. So I
Mhm.
have a list of books that I planned on reading before my IVF transfer went to kaput. So
Mhm.
I have the Turner Diaries, I have Tyrant, I have No God But God, which is Islamic radicalization process. I have a list of books that help you think how we think and counter violent extremism and counter T.
Mhm.
It's just going to help you like be a couple steps ahead, and so that you're not like trying to guess what someone is their behavior is going to. We already have that like gut instinct as Black people. We kind of like, you ain't right. Mm-mm. But this just helps home it in and how to counter that and behave. Yeah, it's all recorded, so I can definitely post them. It's just that they can get a little boring. So what I do is I do one or two chapters and then I have open discussion.
Mhm. Make
And
sure
so
you
now
guys are
we're
following
talking
free. I
about
don't
it.
I know if we said that yet, but make sure you guys are following free to be me. If you're on the over on the YouTube, make sure you guys are following free to be me, you guys. You can also see her check her links in the bio. If you're not on the TikTok at all, you can go to wearewhat'sleft.org and check out
Hmm.
all of the featured voices, and you can see what it is that she fights for and the quotes she lived by. And as soon as you click learn more, it'll take you to her link tree, and you can find everything that she is on, and you can find her, find her. Yes, short skirt.
Yeah.
We're actually live right now, so if you have another device to put in there, because we need hours to monetize. If you have a second device, please put it in there. It's live right now. Thank you so much. Anybody in here
So,
has a
yeah,
second device, please. We need
you saw my
1,200.
second device.
Ran off with it. um, we need 1,200 hours to monetize. 2,200 to get ads, which is the real goal. Okay. Thank you so much. That's a coconut skirt. Okay. Yes, that's anybody. We need to get Bill and Verna on YouTube. They need to do a funny. Hold on, Verna, are you still in here?
I
Hello,
thought I saw
Chom's mother.
her.
How you doing, darling? Verna, if you are still
Yeah.
in here, the podcast is still
She's
going.
here.
No, no, no. I just wanted.
She's
Okay,
here.
well, don't even respond. But when you stop, let us know if the podcast is still going because they have a podcast right now.
Yeah, I started my YouTube. I had to create another channel because I want to make sure that I offer a balance of inspiration and reality. So my one YouTube, which is Mucho Life, is my vlog journey of IVF,
Mm.
and I have to
Hey,
update it because I
Nessa.
moved across country. But my other and Hope, if you have a problem, I'm always here for you. And then the other side of it is going to be more so the rational of how this administration is harming democracy. And I think that people don't. Then honey, I'm here. And look, that's something I learned in Miami.
Well,
That's
what
from
is
my
it?
Haitian friends. Haitians do this. They
Mm.
do this. When I was in Miami, they do this. This is what Haitians do. So, you can always, you know where to reach me. You see my name. We can always have a discussion if you're capable of that. But the thing is, like, people need to understand that Project 2025 is not something new thought.
Mhm.
Half of Project 2025 was immediately in the first two chapters of the Turner Diaries.
Mm.
The first two chapters, rounding people up, true IDs, um, removing rights. You have to watch your language in this book. When I go live, it takes a while to read it when it is on the level of a fourth grade grammatical written book,
Not
run
some
on
dummies out
sentences
here
forever.
writing books.
Well, the reason why is because they give this to their children.
Mm.
So it's easier for a fourth grader to kind of go through it, run on sentences forever, no commas, no periods, and a lot of graphic language, hateful
For
language, in
kids?
which you have to.
Oh my god.
Mhm.
Live, I don't see. Yes,
Even
you should
talking
you should
about
see the it should say
murder.
if you look over to the left, it should say live chat and open panel. You just click that live chat button, open panel, because I'm in there right now. I think
Yeah.
I see
So,
somebody. Found it. Hey. I'm in there from We Are What's Left, so I have it pulled up.
so
Hey
yeah,
Marsha.
these are things that I just think people need to, like. It's not that I want to scare anybody, like Hope says. It's more so just have a better heightened awareness of what you're dealing with. So when we talk about recovering from this, what pissed me off working under Biden was his passive, peaceful keep. Oh, let me extend them an olive branch. Meanwhile, they're lifting their leg up and pissing on the olive branch. What are you
Mhm.
doing? It's not the same people. They're not the same people. They're not the same people. What are you doing? Can you please just like show me those big cojones that you had and piss back in that direction? I'm sorry, I was never with Michelle about taking the high road. I was like, no, kick them in the balls with law. Call
Mm.
them out. Jasmine Crockett is doing exactly what should have been done under the Biden administration. But the moment a Democrat gets into office, one, too many people go into cruise control. You let it go.
Mhm.
Two, too many of us don't vote consistently. And that harms things. What's
Mhm.
happening right here actually was happening in some place called Ontario, I think it's Michigan, 3 years prior to him coming in, where the Republican Party there stripped out all the Democratic members of their Senate and then rewrote the law so that Democrats couldn't even get back into office in Ontario. I think it's Michigan. Michigan. You are literally watching things happening, and I don't even understand how one single immigrant was taken when 60 of us against one ICE person can do something. We see that happening in New York now. This should have been happening early, but we're so slow to engage. That's why once this shit hits the fan with snap, I don't
Mm.
have to worry about Democrats taking things down that road. These Republicans, once they start hurting, they
Yeah.
gonna take action. And that hyena gonna eat its own face.
Oh damn, y'all can't read this. I'm gonna read it to you guys. I'm gonna take it back off the screen. Now, Mr. Drumpf said this
From
in sometime in November 1985. An interview is released with Donald Trump, and he says he wants to partner with Russia, the Soviet Union, on nuclear weapons and dominate third world countries. He claims he is in talks with people in Washington. Mind you, this is in 1985. Hold on, I can show y'all this part so y'all might can see it a little bit. Damn.
Hmm.
This is the cover of it, just so you guys can know. I know it's a little cut off. This is the cover of the magazine that he did in the interview. And I just want to read and just let me know if it sounds a little bit familiar, right? Thank y'all for gifting our amazing host today. Show us some love for being here, also to sharing her knowledge. He said, I think, and he's doing it to our own country. I think you have to come down on them very hard, economically or whatever way. I think the solution is largely economic because there are so many of these countries that are so fragile and we have a vast power that's never been used. They depend on us for food, for medical supplies. And I would never even suggest using it except on this issue. But this issue supersedes all other things. I guess the easy thing would be to say you go in and clean it out. I don't necessarily want to advocate I don't necessarily want to advocate that publicly because it comes off radical. He always calls us radical, which is projection, and which is what we're talking about when we come to talk about the Turner Diaries and whatnot. Okay. So he also says he's been he's been spending so much time on this other thing. He says, meaning the subject, that he's hardly had time to think about conventional deals because he's on the track of a much bigger kind of deal, his ultimate deal, the Trump plan. So what is the ideal? So what is the deal Trump thinks can be done? What is the Trump plan? It's a deal with the Soviets. The only answer is for the big two to make a deal now to step in and prevent the next generation of nations about to go nuclear from doing so by whatever means necessary. He said most of those countries are in one form or another dominated by the US and Soviet Union. He says that between those two nations, you have the power to dominate any of those countries. So we should use our power of economic retaliation, and they use their powers of retaliation. And between the two of us, we will prevent the problem from happening. It would have been better having done something 5 years ago. Maybe we should offer those countries something. I'm saying you start off, this is where it gets real. I'm saying you start off as nicely as possible. You apply as much pressure as necessary until you achieve the goal. You start off telling them, let's get rid of it. If that doesn't work, then you start cutting off aid and more aid and then more. You do whatever, because, hold on, I'm getting caught up because I want to ad lib, but let me read it first. You cut off more aid and then more. You do whatever is necessary so these people will have riots in the street, so they can't get water, so they can't get band-aids, so they can't get food, because that's the only thing that's going to do it. The people, the riots. Trump drops enough names off the record to convince me that he has high level contacts, that he may indeed be dealing at a very high level. This was in 1985, November of 1985, when this article came out in Manhattan Inc. Trump's desire to have riots in the streets is repeated in 2014 in an interview with Fox News. There's one major difference, though. In 2014, Donald Trump wants riots in the streets of the United States. Mm, mm. Wow.
Now the thing is the steps to tyranny also talk about that, and there's another book, I'll try to remember it and put it in Discord as well. But remember when I was talking about going from autocracy from democracy?
Hmm.
Those are the steps that the other side uses in order to make you fall within. And then the other aspect of that is when they talk about creating chaos, what they want is for you to blame it on somebody else. They're going to make somebody else the enemy when it's not them at all.
Hmm.
From what he's talking about, because that actually comes from another book. So he's not coming from that out of his brain. I promise you that's not coming out of his brain. He's getting that from somebody else.
Probably
And there's several books.
the probably the country or somebody on that side that he says we should be partnering with. If he only had a
Well,
brain.
yeah, it's the steps to tyranny. It's the steps to tyranny. And if you look at the steps to tyranny, you'll see some of this in there. I'm just like there's steps to fascism, there's
Some
steps
people
to
without brains do
autocracy.
an awful lot of talking.
Oh, I'm adding that one.
Some
I
people
like
without brains
that.
do an awful lot of talking.
Bitch, when they maggots
I
come up here
like that.
saying a bunch of dumb shit, I'm like,
Some people without brains do an awful lot of talking.
hmm, hmm.
Mm. Where'd you find that?
On the my
That's cute.
soundboard where I can like, I just put in scarecrow because I was trying to find the sound that said, "If he only had a brain." Let me see what this
Pay
is.
But
no
that's
attention.
better. That's better. I'm sorry, that's
Yeah,
Some
better.
people without brains do an awful lot of talking.
yeah. I can't wait to use that one.
I
I
can't
can't
wait.
wait to use that
I
one when
think
they
it'll be
come up
early.
here.
I think it'll be sooner than later. I think it'll be
Right?
sooner than later.
Damn,
I don't
did it
think you're gonna have
end?
a long wait. So yeah, so when we talk about um how the other aspect of this is that another way to get to chaos, and this is something I have a video explaining in detail, is how national emergency acts are worked, how they operate, how those actually are the thing that you have to fear. It is not martial law, because
Mhm.
once martial law is declared, whatever rules and regulations are settled, that's where it's going to be. They're there to enforce those new laws and those new norms. So when you look at Kabila, when you look at Mubarak, when you look at Al-Masir, if you look at Assad, if you look at Turkey, Erdogan, if you look at all these different places, what they do is they put the place in a chaotic state so they can justify the decree of a national emergency
Hmm.
on him wanting to train and deploy 500 NGOs to all states. Yeah, I have not seen that to all states. Well, here's your kicker. Here's your cue that something was going awry. In March of this year, I paid attention to this. Representative McLeod from Texas, he wants to pass a bill so that if you do a national emergency decree, your 2A is not removed from you. Why would a Republican
Hmm.
think that a national emergency decree is going to be declared
Hmm.
and ask to propose a bill to protect 2A under the Trump administration? And he's a MAGA.
Hmm.
Why would
Because
he
he
do
knew that
that?
he know they're gonna try to take that away too. Because he know there's just gonna
Exactly.
be martial law.
Okay.
Hey,
He
right?
knows the plan. So my concern is, you want goldfish crackers? Okay. Can I pour that, please? Oh Lord. So he knows that's coming. So when you have a national emergency, your ability to have your 2A is gone. Your voting rights are gone. Your ability to do free movement can be restricted or completely gone. Your amount of money that you can take out of your account on an average or daily basis can be limited.
Mm.
All of these things can happen, and it's really more. It feels like a more quote unquote what they call communist
Mm.
state, because the government is controlling everything that you have accessibility to do.
But
That's what it typically
so when they're
how they
all
work.
running around calling everybody
Thank
communist, communist,
you.
commie, is only because they about to be
Projection,
commie.
projection under Pol Pot and under
Whoa!
Mao. One of the two things that they got rid of. The first thing that Mao and Pol Pot got rid of, education.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing they did is they put idiots in charge. Under Pol Pot, you had children running the government. You had children in the military and being leaders of command posts. I'm talking about 7-year-olds. This is what they did. And they upped them to make them think that they were so smart. So they're more willing to listen to that person because that person has built up their confidence in some phallus way. That's enough.
Uh
You
oh.
don't need that much. Oh.
This is America.
Wow.
So yeah, I knew she was going to do that. I was trying to have hope, but yeah, I knew she was going to go that far with it. Okay, this is how much you can have before dinner. Here, mama. So those are the type of things that you. Yeah, I see out there.
Sorry, I'm trying to. Oh, okay, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. All right, I'm gonna take that one off. I don't need that in the future. My bad, y'all. I was seeing which
So
ones I
yeah,
could remove so they could be easily available. You know what I'm
mm,
saying?
mm, I'm not that far down.
But I
Some
like
I don't
people
that.
even have a
without
mic.
brains do an awful lot of talking.
That's my favorite
I
now.
don't
My
even have a
bad.
mic
Sorry,
yet.
y'all.
I have to get to that level. But yeah, I've got the YouTube up so I can start talking about some of this stuff. And I figure if anything, I just put the information out there, recommend book reads and stuff like that. And hopefully people will become more aware of what the actual enemy is and what it looks like. Because if we waste time on bullshit, on little things, just like we did in the first 4 years, if we get too distracted on things like um, when we want to talk about uh, rights that are not going to impact our ability to have a successful life, we have to be careful, because when he creates distractions like pulling stuff out of the national museums, That's a distraction. What's he really doing behind the scenes?
Mhm.
Let me take a look over here. This is what
Mhm.
he does, these so appalling things so that you get locked in, so that he can do something behind your back that's even worse.
Yeah.
That's what my fear is.
So every time they
That's
do
what my
something
fear
like
is.
that, we should be like, "Go check the legislation. Go check and see who got fired. Let's see what's been moved around." Mhm.
Right now, what are they doing? They're terminating people while we're in a while we're on a furlough.
Yeah, I saw that
They're
they had
terminating,
over the weekend, they, fired a lot of head of ICE departments, which means they're probably about to put them in with some more loyalists who can move
which is
things
why I said
fast.
that conspiracy theory. Like, if I had any conspiracy theory, that would be the element of the conspiracy theory that people, because there have been a lot. FBI has got rid of its essay, bachelor's degree requirement, and experience in something like experience level in
Mhm.
order to become an FBI agent.
I
You
thought you
only
had
need
to
to
have
be
merit.
19 now.
What's the merit then?
No, there's none. There's none for the FBI. 19 and you can get in now. No
Ma
college education, no law enforcement background, nothing, nothing.
Yeah,
And the
Saji.
Department of State, you used to have to write an essay on a specific topic that they would give you that related more to being a subject matter expert, be it nuclear, be it crisis, be it war, whatever it is, civil rights, human rights, whatever it is. No, now you have to write an essay on your fealty to an executive order that Trump has created to get
Wow.
into the State Department, or specifically a Foreign Service officer. That's
Wow.
what's going on. So these paid people coming in, these security clearances, no, no, they don't pass the smell test. No, 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 no.
That's
That's what I tell my
crazy.
daughter.
What are your,
Mm-mm.
thoughts on the MAGA drunk derangement syndrome?
It took us too long to come up with that term.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, I f- like I said, desperate people. Um, in normal situations where you have these wars and stuff like that that's going down, you have this desperation that's obvious. Their buildings are crumbling. Like, if we think of Palestine and what's happening with that, their buildings are falling, all these other things are happening. So you can see the need for desperation. But white people in this country, they make up shit to be desperate off of. They make up stuff, they make up oppression on
Imagine
themselves.
life being so good you gotta make up. They wanna be oppressed so fucking bad, bitch.
They want to be
That's why
oppressed
we be
so
like, they
bad
want
so they
our
could be the
rhythm, but they
victim.
don't want our blues. Bitch, they want the blues too. They wanna feel like some something is, like, they're coming after, like, this attack on Christianity. Nobody gives a fuck about your
Nobody.
Christianity. You don't wanna run around knocking on people's doors trying to shove it down motherfuckers' throat, and if they don't conform, you tell them they're going to hell. They used to unalive you if you didn't conform. Now they just straight tell you
And
you're
with
going to
that, don't they say this a lot? Oh, well, when they talk about us, they're like, well, I don't see, tell me, in what way have you been oppressed? Tell me what law or legislation has been written to go against you. And we actually have laws and proof that has been gone against us. Then when you ask them, start asking them, start thinking about your conversations with them, about in the same manner that they have a conversation with you. They ask
Mhm.
you these derogatory, passive aggressive, microaggressive questions. You need to take those questions and flip it right back on them with the same logic. When they say, tell me how you've been oppressed, and you can name off stuff in ways of oppression, like, oh, well, I don't see that. There's no laws for that. Where is it written in the law that it's not? How are you not being protected in the law? Take that same logic and flip it back on them and ask them, tell me how white people are being oppressed legislatively. What
Mhm.
laws have been written to suppress your vote?
Mhm.
Last I checked, you didn't have to have an amendment just to be able to vote. Those are the things that we have to have the conversation about. That's how you have to address some of these idiots.
Mhm.
I don't know what that was about.
I thought he wanted to come up to request it up.
But those are the things that that's why I'm reading these books, to get you to think about how where the roots, understanding the root dialogue you need to have with people and understanding the root of what their intention is doing. People think that they mean this level of damage, they don't mean this level of damage. You got to watch the video with Russell Foyt. He talks about installing a shadow government and having them pull those strings and getting rid of so many different agencies so that the power is concentrated within the shadow government. Literally, on the second or third chapter in the Turner Diaries, it talks about establishing a shadow government and putting these people in positions within the federal government so that they can get intel from them and use them to make sure that they can plot an attack on the system.
Mm.
I'm just saying. Everything is in there. Even January 6th. All of it's in there. All of it's in the book.
Mhm.
All of it's in the book.
Because we got to make sure that we are going around, make sure that we're following so that we could get a hold of this book. Not going to get a hold of this book, but Free reads it on her live too. After she's done with it. I'll probably read to it um on YouTube. But for now, make sure you guys follow Free if you're not. I don't know what you're doing with yourself, okay? Very muy muy.
Thank you. Thank
um
you. And if you need help with IVF, talk to me. There's like a lot is happening right now with IVF. Women who need help, or families or couples, or whatever,
How would you
whoever
feel
you are that need help,
bringing a baby into this administration and into this world at this time? Do you feel like
is
that would be
it's
not
hope.
would you feel like it'd be
It's
hard
hope.
for the mother and the child? 'Cause I'd be like, "Bitch, you couldn't have waited till the black lady came."
That's a good question. For me, it's hope. For me, it's also an alliance for my daughter. I just didn't want her to be alone. Um, my family is all on the East Coast, and I'm
Mhm.
on the West Coast. I wanted a second child prior to us moving because I wanted that bond. Having a child out of IVF is totally different because there's stigmas that are put on them. Do you have to go potty? Okay, sorry. It
Mhm.
popped in my head. There's stigmas and ideology. I've literally been told that my child is a devil because she wasn't being conceived in natural way. Oh, thank you.
Fuck
So
them
these are
goddamn creatures.
things that other children may not face. And then there's an identity thing that she may go through by being conceived through IVF. And I don't want her to be in that alone. I don't want her to be in that alone. And I want this team. Having a kid these days is a sign of hope for me because
Mhm.
if I didn't have hope for this country, I would not be.
Mhm.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. That's hope. That is hope for me. Um, One day Jess is gonna say, I need to pop these cute children out. And
Girl,
I'll be for it.
I know you fucking lying.
I'll be, and I'll
I
be
wouldn't
for
do
it.
that to well, this is just my perspective. I wouldn't do that to them.
Yeah,
It's
but that's what I'm saying.
but I
You
wouldn't do it
gotta,
to
you're
me
gonna,
neither because I'm not equipped. I'm not. I would have to. I'm out here in the fight. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's
And
what
that's
I'm
another
saying.
thing. Like
You want the
I think
IVF.
I would have children and they would be a certain way because a lot of people plan what the children should
Mm,
be and do, and it don't always turn
well,
out like that. Because I
your
mean,
mama
you
did good with you.
that's what she told me too. She said, "You did good with me. I did good with
Yeah,
you."
your
But
mama.
that is
Yeah.
it's a blessing. It doesn't. I've had a lot of friends. Everybody doesn't have the best relationship with their parents.
Sure.
Parents have plans for their children that they don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always, great. You know what I'm saying? Anything could happen. Like,
Tanya.
because they told my mom that I was gonna have a disability because she was older when she had me.
Dinner. It's dinner.
You
Want coke?
know, so that's always
Mm-hmm.
the thought that there
Yeah.
can be
So
disabilities. They may not, what if the siblings don't bond like you want them to? What if they fight all day? What if they don't like you? What if
yeah.
they are? But you just don't know.
Wait.
It's a risk that you take along with your
Yeah,
life.
it's a risk that you take, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
You ever thought about fostering
my
or
um,
adopting then?
yes, adopting is $70,000 average cost because
Hmm.
that's where I was going to go before I had her. I was going to adopt a newborn,
Or
and
foster,
it's
they'll pay
costing around.
you.
I have issues with letting go.
Mm.
I can't do that. Once you're my baby, you're my baby. I can Once you're here with me, you're here with me. We gonna do this.
She said they got.
We
She
gonna
said
do
she got
this.
2 kids and they fight all day. You said that they gonna. You think they gonna be best friends and they gonna have each other.
You think?
There's some siblings that
Yeah.
don't talk to each other.
Yeah, that's
She
very
might
true.
still
That's
be alone. I know the hopes that
Tanya
we
said it's a
have.
trap. It's a
Yeah,
trap. Don't do it.
I know the hopes that you have, but that doesn't mean it's gonna be like that. You got to be prepared for it to be the
Exactly.
complete opposite.
Exactly.
Are you
Yeah,
okay
you
with it
have
being the
to.
complete opposite?
Yes, I am, because I also then have this backup system of other families that I'm connected with, so that they have other people who they can reach out for support.
Hmm.
Because I mean, Black people, we typically know that it takes a community to raise a child. It's not a single thing. Also, so your resources. What I tell a lot of people,
Hmm.
your parenting skills, and I said this to my mom when I had to forgive her with things that she did with me, and I said, look, your tool belt wasn't quite equipped, Mom.
Okay.
You were missing a couple tools on that bill. But with the tools you did have, you did the best of your ability. I can't blame you for some things because during your generation, there was so much stuff that just constantly got swept under the rug.
Hmm.
And therefore you wouldn't know. And then they didn't even have explanations for it or help for it back then, if you think about it, they didn't have that. So those are things you have to think about. But when I said to you, like, in case Jess wants to do it one day, it's more so I just want you to freeze your eggs. It's
Me?
your option to do more. Yeah, just I tell girls, I tell women, I tell off anybody who has the capacity, just freeze your shit. Just freeze it. You don't have to use it. You don't
I
have
can
to
sell
use
them
it. You can
because
sell
baby,
them.
if there's a bunch of me's going around though, fuck, and I don't have to have no baby or take care of them.
As long as I'm in
How
line
much it
first.
cost to freeze them?
Actually, if you're donating half your stuff, guess what? You're
I ain't
not paying
donating
for it.
nothing. You gonna
That's
have to pay for these eggs. This is prime
No, that's what I'm saying.
premium eggs right here.
If you're selling them,
Oh,
if you're
okay.
selling them, you typically don't like what they'll say is, do you want to sell all of them or do you want to keep some on your side so that
Yeah.
you have some for yourself? Should you change your mind?
Oh,
But
cause
they're there and they're just eggs. They're not embryos. They're just eggs. And
I,
when you want to do it,
I
it's
keep looking.
there.
Does anybody want to adopt me? I'm looking.
she said
I'm
you could
looking.
adopt me for free, bitch.
Somebody adopt me for free.
I'll
Thank
take you,
you.
Saji.
I would
Thank
too.
you.
I'll take
Okay.
you. I'll look like that
I'll make you
year
noodles
old.
on the stove top, bitch. Put a little seasoning in there too, okay?
I was just telling Denise in the comments. I'm like, I miss being a kid. Like, who's gonna bring me chicken noodle soup right now when I'm coughing out my lung?
Mm-hmm.
They're like,
Oh,
mommy, I'm
you still
okay.
sick?
I'm still sick. I was coughing most of the time you were speaking. Yesterday, I kept saying,
Oh,
"Can someone catch me up?"
oh,
Oh my gosh.
That's how I've been all
I'm
day
so
today, Saji. It
sorry.
hit me like a bag of bricks. It's
Now
kind of,
you're sick too?
yeah, I've been laid down, resting all day. It's been cold. I've been
I
shout
thought it
out
was
to
just
Amazing
allergies.
Grace because when I had my royal family housewarming wish list, everybody that bought me something for the house, every time I use it, I think of y'all. So I just want to say I love y'all. But she got me this
Mm,
big ass thick comforter, and I love to be snuggled. And today was the first day I got to really use it because it's been hot, and it felt so good. And I was so sick. I was like, oh my god. And I ate noodles, and it looks like I'm gonna have to eat noodles again. I mean, because I want something like a burger or something, but I just want something hot
I'm
and
cooking.
soupy. So
I got this fish out and I don't want it, but I want to cook it. And now you're saying all that other stuff, and now you're making me think about some other food. And now, oh,
I woke up and
I
said,
would love.
"Saji, Whataburger." Yeah, Whataburger's literally across the street, so I was thinking about getting that. But should I get a taquito or should I get a burger?
Yeah,
And I'll
I
be
think
on
you should get
early
some
tomorrow,
ramen.
you guys, because tomorrow's my niece's homecoming. I don't want to say because I think she'd be watching my. I think she'd be watching my lives because my best friend told me today that she be walking around like, "Hey, queen, yes, queen, go, queen." And anytime I'm out,
Mhm.
especially when I see women or if I'm at the store and I'm like, "Oh, thank you, queen," or "Hey, queen," or whatever, whatever, whatever. I'm like, I do that too. So I wonder if she be watching low key. So hey, P, if you are, her homecoming tomorrow. I'm going to do her makeup to make sure she's beautiful, and then so I'll probably get on live early because I got a couple goals we gotta hit before. Friday. Bitch, I'm about to take everything off auto pay, ho. I thought I was being grown and responsible, but bitch, that should be coming out of nowhere like
Yeah.
a disappearing. They be
Yeah.
making disappearing acts on my bank account. Spicy vanilla, how you doing, love? Bitch,
Listen,
are
you
you
just gotta
Houdini with my motherfucking money?
no, Judge, you gotta call and say, hey, I see some suspicious activity in my bank account. And then when they're like, which transaction? All of them since January 1st. Okay. Every transaction. Reverse. Reverse.
Yes, I called my the Cardinal people called me today and I said, "Oh yeah, this government shutdown is just like really affected me, you know." And he's like, "But don't you work for Just Joy?" I said, "I know, but my clients, if they ain't got no money, they can't pay me no money, so I can't pay you no money, okay? Okay, tell the Republicans to get with it." But I mean, it was all true, okay?
We
They
have
said free making me
military.
hungry. Chrissy, thank you for coming over here too, love.
It's just granola.
I might have to
And
make some oatmeal.
when so I almost burnt my house down. I don't even know how it happened over a bowl of oatmeal. I put it on. I thought I put 1 minute. I went and did something outside. I came back in to eat my oatmeal, and smoke was coming out my microwave.
Girl, my mama told me when I was a kid, don't ever get a job at a fast food restaurant because you're gonna burn the whole thing down. Girl, and
Thank
that's why
you.
I don't work in fast food. Hey, I'm a call center type of girl. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur.
That's yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I wanted to ask you a question going back a little bit, but something I want to know about you. What is it? Where would you like to take We Are What's Left? Like, what is your end game with this? What do you want? What do you want the final product to look like?
um, the people holding the power. The fact that we have this massive directory of creators who are all on the same page, creating our content in different ways because different people want to hear their messages from different types of people that they connect with. We're all saying the same thing, but in a different way, different tone. Um,
Sure.
so big that all of our platforms are so big and we're all like as a unit, as a unity, and we all have our own audiences that love us for whichever reason. So big that the Democratic Party would have to be like, "Hey, we are what's left. You know, can y'all spread this message?" But like, what are you really offering? What does it legislation look like? So we can have some power to call the shots and have our voices be heard because we'll have um an army behind us, right? So those people that follow you for people that and audiences that trust our words and our knowledge and our experience, they probably wouldn't follow me as for like military or VA or foreign policy advice, but they would follow you. So you would have that audience and I would have that. So and then being able to educate our youth so we can go to our schools,
That's it. Yeah.
you know, our HBCUs, majority minority colleges. When I say majority minority, it's like the majority of the people there are non-white. You know what I mean? And then we go together so they see exactly what black and brown unity looks like, along with real accomplices, and then it can be done. And no, we don't all do everything the same way. We don't agree, but we agree on the core values and the messaging. And then
Okay.
these organizations that are on the ground, boots on the ground doing stuff, how can we amplify that? Like I am teaming up with Alina for the Lotus House food distribution. They distribute food to women and children. So how can we use our platforms to amplify the resources so people know where to find the resources? A lot of people are doing good things, but they don't know. So how can we use our platforms to connect the organizations with the people? You know what I mean? And that way,
Oh,
the
Jasmine Crockett is speaking right now as we're on here.
really is she live on what?
Big G.
What is she live on?
On here.
Let me see.
Yes. And that there was a while ago, Jess.
Imagine if you
Like,
asked her to co-host.
I've accomplished something really big.
Huh?
I said, imagine if you asked her to co-host.
I
You know
know.
how Cardi B has accidentally brought people up.
Oh, she
I
read?
did that before.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, she
that
can
that
read.
would be dope. Because at the end of the
Imagine.
day, we are the American people and we are what's left. That's like it ain't even just about
Try
quote
it.
unquote being on the left. It's about being the American people and being what's left, you know.
I
And
say
I
try it.
and we I can't do it with all
Together,
y'all up here.
regardless of how we feel about the underlying
Let me
issue.
see.
Because at the end of the day, we literally need to have a moral compass. We need to have actual standards. That is who we are as Americans. That is what is supposed to set us apart from so many other countries. That is why we are supposed to be the greatest democracy in this world.
I'm gonna
And
take off
right
we are
now,
what's left because I don't want to
we are far from
misconstrue
it.
anything.
Hopefully.
So I will
Hopefully.
end
Yeah, to
there.
the universe.
I really do appreciate y'all. I appreciate your patience. I really did want
I
to get
love
through
this
some things,
updo
but I
on
have been
her. You can see her
so busy.
beautiful face.
That
I
looks-
love this.
I don't know. I've been all over
It
the
looks like
country.
K-pop Demon Hunter
working
Afro
on
version.
things such as if you're in Pennsylvania,
It
make
looks
sure you're working
good.
on the retention of your judges, because the next time this fool tries to do something funky with our elections in Pennsylvania, we want to make sure that we're not saying shoulda, coulda, woulda. You've got to be engaged right now. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So
See, that's what
Pennsylvania,
I
make
said.
sure you show up, retain your judges. All right. Same thing when it comes
She
down
looks
to New Jersey.
stunning.
New Jersey, we need you to turn up and turn out. You need a governor who will fight back when this administration decides that it doesn't want to send dollars back to your state. You don't need somebody that's just going to roll over and you lose stuff that you are entitled to. So make sure you go out and you vote for Mikey Sherrill. Same thing when it comes to Virginia. Virginia, you guys have your gubernatorial that is on the ballot. Make sure that you show up and you vote, because we are all relying on y'all to give us that little boost that we need to know that democracy will still survive, and to know that we will have local elected officials that will fight on our behalf, fight on behalf of the people that put them into position. So make sure you show up, Virginia. Yes, I was in Virginia. I was in New Jersey, but that was for my girl, LaMonica McIver, because I needed to support her in court. And then if
I
you
sent
are
you a
in
request,
Tennessee,
Lewis.
make sure you are paying attention. You have a special election. We have an opportunity to flip one of these Republican seats. We did it last cycle when we took the George Santos seat and Tom Swazi was able to win. So if you're anywhere near Tennessee, please make sure
You said that he'll be in his third term. Oh, that's what I thought.
to write some postcards, make some phone calls, volunteer with her campaign. We have an opportunity to pick up a Republican seat and flip that so that we don't have to wait until the midterms. This is work that we can do now. So I will definitely be in Tennessee to make sure that I can support Afton and hopefully get her to DC as well. But for now, we are in this fight. We are in this thing. There is no reason to give up. Do not feel hopeless. Do not feel helpless, because that's what they want. We will win this if we just stick together and remember that the power belongs to the people.
Yes, I literally just said that. I just said that. Come on now. We are the people. We have the power. And if I talk about the revolution when I'm talking about, what did I say? I forgot what I said. But we are the people and we have the power. That's why I say we are with stuff we will have like when I talk about the revolution, you have to figure out what your strength is and make it applicable to the revolution. It's not about trying to get out of your lane, or maybe you find something that was in you that you never had and you go for that. My power is I have a platform, I have a voice, I build community. How can I use my community to come together with other people who have community so we could be one united front and push forward? We are what's left, y'all. We're not going to let them keep rewriting history and tell our story. We're going to tell our own stories using our platform. We're going to tell what's happening using our platforms. We are what's left. Louis, you're too busy. Because somebody mute him because he's busy. So when you're not busy, feel free to request up. You can come up. I don't want to distract you from whatever you're busy from. So please mute Louis. And then when he's ready to talk, he can come up and
Send him
talk.
a special message too. Lo más chistoso de todo esto es que andas aquí como pinche pendejo mamahuevo.
Lewis is actually friendly.
Dándole las... No, ¿cuál friend? ¿Cuál friend? He's over here talking about a third term. Whose friend is he?
He said, while y'all over
He
there
is-
fighting,
Do not think so.
he said, you guys are
This
fighting
is
and
what
Trump will be in a third term inevitable. Why would you say that? And that's another reason why I brought them up, because comments get lost in translation in the
Yeah,
chat. Come up and speak about it.
Lewis. Yeah, Lewis is a friendly. He's a
Okay.
friendly. Unless there's somebody else on his account using
You
his
can
name and
take
his
the
picture.
friendly fire.
I just don't know what's going on. That's not that Lewis. That's not that Lewis.
Really.
This
So
is
that ballroom is in 15 years. You already paid for himself.
okay.
You
Great.
guys so
You
mad
said
Can
because
we?
said
my
three. You said 3
president,
years.
Oh,
my
hold on.
president is
Whoa, whoa.
Mm-hmm. So Lewis, not that Lewis free. Just can I come up? Yeah, of course. Come on. The panel is open to anybody who wants to add to the discussion, whether you or agree or disagree. Hola,
Hey, Jess.
Adelia.
That Lewis that's in the comments is a POS, okay? He has lives with magas on there, and he has a Discord where he sits there and we kumbayaing with MAGA and taking MAGA's side. He used to be my manager. I know what I'm talking about. He's a POS.
It was
See,
given.
don't let me doubt my Latina intuition ever again, okay? I was trying to send him a special message, okay? So my message still stands, okay? Eres un pinche mamagüevo pendejo aquí chupándole las botas al trompetas cuando ni siquiera puedes hablar bien en inglés, cabrón. Así es que primero volteate a ver al espejo, ve tu codo, ve qué color es y entiende que jamás va a ser pinche güero. Idiota.
Did you get that, Lou? Thank you for
That
me
is
only.
so. Yeah, I don't know what's going on because that Lewis, I've been on his lives, and even Oya said it is the. Okay, then why does he have his picture? And when you just played it a moment ago, I heard his voice. So I'm so
This is
confused.
Lewis.
Yeah,
That's him.
that's the one I'm talking about.
That's
He
him.
has a
He's a
Discord that
friendly.
he kumbayas with MAGA. No, he's not. And I have several women that will tell you that. He kumbayas with them on Discord,
Then that's
and
correct.
No,
I'm
Correct.
sorry.
that's not what I'm
I
saying.
Yeah.
will I will Still. agree with you. I will agree with you on that one.
No, not what I'm saying.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me see
But
what it is.
before Trump, we are democracy.
No, we
No.
literally are literally
Okay,
voting
We
for
follow
listen,
the
democracy.
Mouse,
And I explained
Mouse,
how that is.
listen,
Oh, so my teachers are
Mouse,
liars?
That's like he has like his lives. Trump blast the media. I don't know, but what I do know is that shit get caught crossed in translation and the text. That's why I always invite you up to come speak what you really want to say, what you really
That's
do. So on his lives
yeah.
though, is he like cosplaying a
He's
friendly?
playing. Yeah.
Is he? Because I've
Yeah.
known him. I'm gonna just be honest. I've known him for over almost a year, and I did stop going to his lives because he doesn't have control over his lives, and he talks a little bit much sometimes. But now and then, I still stop on his lives. But for some reason, and what you're saying would explain why he has some of the most extreme people, but he just gives them the platform to talk.
hmm
So I
He
don't
has gripers on there, and he just lets them talk,
definitely has papers on there.
You don't want to know what I said, but I'll tell you the one part.
He's not a grifter though.
I told him to go take a look in the mirror and look at the back of his elbow and tell me again if he thinks he's white. That's what I said.
Oh, Lauren. His name is
I'm so,
Louis something. He's been muted,
Yeah.
so when he's not
Gonzalo or
busy, he's
something
gonna
like that.
come up.
Yeah, that's fine. He can come up and he can explain himself because he does have a disability with speaking sometimes. I think he had a traumatic brain injury or something.
What
So he
about
does have
typing?
a problem speaking. So I don't even know now. I don't even know. I'm not I don't even know. But before that, I think we were talking about when back in February, you had a live, Jess, and you had a notebook and you were asking people questions about what should we do, how should we move forward, and I
The
said
future
something
of the
about having
Democratic Party.
yes, yeah, I remember,
Mhm.
and one of the things I said is that we can't have one person flying everywhere. And then two, that person's not going to know those new communities. We
Mhm.
need to have somebody who's speaking the same message as us, whatever from whatever vibe their community is from,
Mhm.
speaking to them, and that we just have a shared message with them.
Mhm.
it saves on money because we were like, this is expensive to fly to all these different places, and you're constantly asking people for money. You're damn right. You're constantly asking for people to money to fly you around on the hope of something when you don't even have a foundation established for yourself for some kind of professional way to present yourself. So it's better to first have those people who already have trust in those communities, who already know in those communities the people that they'll be talking to get on their footstool and talk to them and be brave enough to go to events and talk to them, kind of like how Lainey is doing. She wasn't like, oh, everybody knows Lainey, but Lainey is so brave and courageous.
I love
Now
her.
everybody does know Lainey because she's brave and courageous and will do it. And that's what we need in each of these cities and states, for people to be able to have the courage to go into these parks, go to these events. Don't be a little a CKer with, oh, come debate me. That's so fucking
Yeah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
just speak and let people come to you and migrate to you, and then have platforms in which you are countering the narrative in bites that youth can take it, because right now we need to be focused.
Mhm.
We need to be focused on those people who will become first time voters,
Yes.
and we need to focus on the 88%, and then holding our line, holding our front. It's funny, Verna Lee told me that I should have allied front as my saying down at the bottom. You know how you have the royal? It was
Mhm.
supposed to be allied front. She told me to do that. And I said, no, 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 that's too cliche. My name is Freedom and an allied front. That's too much drama. No, it's too patriotic. So I'm glad you're utilizing that narrative, because, thank you, LM, because if we can't hold the line of democracy as a society, why should those higher up than us do it?
Mhm.
If we don't have faith in it, what's the point of their job?
Mhm.
What's the point of their job? We have to have that much fire in our gut and our tummy as well. So I'm not getting chasing people around. I've never really liked that idea,
I
but
don't either.
more so standing your ground and making the magnetic wave come towards you and building from
The
there.
pull
That's much
method
better.
instead of the push method. And we won't be debate style because people will tend to lose their morals when they're debating, and they agree to
Mm,
things that they never would agree to just to
mm,
the sake of winning an argument, and you don't win shit. You don't
that.
even win a participation trophy. It's the illusion of quote unquote winning. And then even that's up in the air because that could nobody tallies the fucking score. We're not doing that.
And
We
you can
want
lose what you have. And you can lose what you have.
mhm. And so that's why it's important. So you guys, if you have creators, I love everybody to be a part. If you can donate a service, help, information. Oh, if anybody has any information or can help with uh, making it a nonprofit and like what to file for, please reach out to me. I would love so because that's also too another way to be able to hey, Debbie. Hey, boo. She said, let me get that gift gallery real quick. Okay. Thank you, my love. Um, if we could do that. So if you guys know creators who are that you trust, their messaging, right? That has built, their communities as well, that regularly either goes live or make political content. Like, they have to be okay with talking in front of people, and I don't want anybody to just jump on the political plane right now. Like, people who are established a political presence or have spoken up, because I don't want people who just spoke up just, because of the grift. Like, people who you trust, please tag them in the We Are What's Left videos. Tell them they should be a part of this. Send them to me so I can reach out to them and kind of like also to vet their stuff. Because if we have someone like you say, like in every state, again, I don't have to fly everybody out. Maybe one or two main, but like I don't have to fly everybody out. If I come to Georgia, shout out to Thomas Bishop. He's already in Georgia. That's someone I can call who's already in Georgia, right? And all I have to do is make sure that I take care of its, transportation and per diem and stuff like that. Especially since we don't have an abundance just yet. Today, maybe tomorrow. But it's also too, he's already connected in Georgia. People know him there. It's easier to be able to speak to the people there, you guys. So if you know people, you know creators, and when I say go live, I mean like cam up, see their faces. People need to be able to see you. They want to fall in love with the people, not always just the sticker too. You know what I mean? People that we can see. Please send them to me. Tag them in the We Are What's Left. We Are What's Left is in the right corner. Follow that account. Tag them in the We Are What's Left posts. Okay. Please, please, please. Because we have to do this together. We're building our own. I hate to even say that word on here. You know what I'm saying? Because then they get spooked. We're building our own nation or our own community. We're building what's left. Okay. So please, please, please support if you can. If you guys want to put a, we have the G Feed Me. If you want to put it like a $20 a month thing that helps, just know every little bit helps because there's so many things that we're building a coalition. Thank you, Southern Fried. We're building a coalition of the American people. But KGR, welcome into the live. How are you?
I'm good. How are y'all doing?
Amazing.
Hey, KG.
Hey, yeah, I was listening and I keep explaining to people, and I do this in my everyday life when I talk to people like off the app in like real life. Um, because like I door knock a lot. Like in this weekend, I got a door knock 2 days.
Oh, door knock.
Because we have an election coming up next week. And the thing I talk to them about is how your vote does matter. And the psyop that's been pushed out is that voting doesn't matter. And when it gets pushed, and I've noticed the messaging. There's a creator on here. Her name is Therese. She also has a YouTube channel where she talks about the rise of the manosphere and all of these things and how they're interconnected with the political landscape. And how, P 2025 is actually interconnected with the manosphere and the messaging of, oh, it doesn't matter. It's better to fall in line with this totalitarianism so that you can feel powerful. So she is one of the creators I'm going to share this to because I love her. And Therese is like literally one of the smartest, like I
Yes,
always
please.
learn something from her. And that is something that she's talking about how it's like when we're looking at the societal structures, why these messages are starting to hit. And then you start seeing the reverberation and the repetitiveness of this, like, oh, woe is me, poor me, men matter. Oh, you guys don't center us, so therefore we're at a disadvantage. It's the whole entire, yes, it is an extinction burst. But the way that they're trying to consolidate and prevent the extinction burst from happening is by getting people to believe that it doesn't matter what they do. And it's almost a nihilist point of view. So that's what I've been noticing a lot along a lot of the spaces. It's like when I see FBAs and all these like, oh, I'm this, I'm that. And then you see other groups that are like aligning with the same thought process. All of them have roots in the manosphere, which has its roots in white supremacist backdoor groups, specifically the Heritage Foundation. That messaging and the way that they tested it out. Do you guys remember Cambridge Analytica? When Facebook had that issue with Cambridge Analytica. Now, Cambridge
I
Analytica
watched
is
a documentary on that. Do you remember? You know what
exactly.
it's called? So I can maybe we'll do it in a movie night just so we can
Here, let me
educate.
pull it up. I'm on my computer. But yeah, so that was their test run. Was first they tried it out on Facebook when they started the whole on Facebook. What was the time before Cambridge Analytica came out? When they first started with the Obama wasn't born in the US. That was the first time they started doing the
The birther
misinformation.
movement.
Yeah, the birther movement. That actually started on Facebook and on Twitter. And when you start going back to look at what they were trying to do, it starts there. They wanted to see how susceptible people were.
That's what
Once
I
they got,
said. You see what I
Mhm,
said? KG,
mhm,
it's the increments. It's the
mhm.
microdosing of consent.
Correct.
It's called consent. You have to consent for the narrative to be there and the ideology to be there in order for them to nurture it and then take it to the next level of consent. It's an
Correct.
escalator.
Like what they're doing to us,
Exactly.
but they're moving
It's the elevator.
fast as
They're
fuck.
trying, yeah, so they've been doing this for a while and they started testing it out. It started out when we see this type of messaging. If we really want to get down to brass tacks, it started after Reconstruction ended. Then we started seeing an escalation during the early 1900s through the 1930s. Then they kind of had to pull back because they needed us and they needed other people of color to assist. So then they pulled it back. Then they ramped up the first real PSYOP, which was the nuclear family in the 1940s and 50s. That was the first real test run of a PSYOP because that's where they said that white tea women needed to be in the home and men were the only ones supposed to go out and women were supposed to be all this and women shouldn't do this and all this other stuff. And that's where they came in with a lot of this like super evangelical Christian based like theorist in this country. That was the first PSYOP because they wanted to see how they could basically get people to agree with that. Then they utilized television to reinforce that stereotype, even though it was not a reality. But people go back to that nostalgia based on TV shows as opposed to actually looking at what was really happening. Now, if you see that PSYOP worked, they did because it worked in the 50s and 60s until the civil rights movement. The civil rights movement blew that ish up. And then that's when they had to realign and change what Black people were in this country. Because the whole welfare queen living off the system, that was never a narrative for Black people. That used to be a narrative for Eastern Europeans. They were the ones who used to live off the system because they were poor and ignorant. So once they changed it to that because Black people were asking for something, so you needed to weaponize that against Black people. That continued to happen as we see it going when the welfare queen statement started and the demonization of unions. You have to think about when that happened during that same period of time. So they were able to literally get people to believe that something that was in their best interest was bad for them. And they kept testing it out through television, through messaging, and through this, like, consider like these catchphrases. At the same time, literacy started going down and the focus on education became about being a test taker as opposed to actually having critical thinking skills. And we saw that progression going through. So once they got Cambridge Analytica, once we had the internet and all this other stuff to be able to consolidate the data, they were able to actually pinpoint which parts of the country would be most susceptible to it and then put out false narratives so to see if they would actually believe it. And Twitter has always been a PSYOP. I hate to break it to people, but it really has always been a PSYOP to see what people will believe and how to weaponize it.
Or
So
not just believe, but more so tolerate what they're willing to accept in their atmosphere without
exactly.
having some kind of reaction to say it needs to stop. So there they could test the perimeter to see how far they could take a narrative, believable or not. Like there was an image of Barack Obama shaking hands with Osama bin Laden. That was part of that Cambridge Analytica thing. And there were three pictures: a picture of George Bush, Barack Obama, and some other president shaking hands with Osama bin Laden in that study. Everybody that they saw who were gullible said it had to be Barack Obama who shook hands with Osama bin Laden. Everybody. And so that's how they knew which direction they could take it. Did you see that part of that, KG?
Yeah. And that's the thing, because again, racism is the basis of the United States. And honestly, all of the world, let's be for real. So it's easier to demonize Black people. And then when we start looking at it from the perspective of white tea supremacy and the messaging associated with like Barack Obama, the Tea Party movement came out of that, a bunch of ignoramuses who had no idea how government works, trying to tell the government how it works, which is the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Anywho, it was during that time that we started seeing, because Obama being competent, just basic competency, destroys a narrative of white tea supremacy. And that action destroyed a position of the poor 8x11s, the lower middle class 8x11s, and a lot of other people of color who always thought they were just better than Black people. So when you see someone who is actually competent, educated, and very well spoken, on top of it having a Black wife, and obviously Black wife, and like super Black, also educated, also better.
Because she even said that
They
when she worked so hard and she got in the rooms with all the people she thought were high up and she realized she was the smartest person in the room. Like, damn, you motherfuckers is dumb. How did y'all get here?
exactly. And so they know they have unearned privilege. They understand they're not capable. But damn it, they need you to buy into their bullshit. Otherwise, they don't exist. It's like when you meet like it's like when Meghan Markle over with the British royal family. And these people think they're better than everybody. And yet she was the only one in that entire room who was bilingual. Well, actually trilingual. She's the only one who actually had done an
Mhm.
actual job. And then she's like, "Do y'all not realize how stupid y'all sound?" And it
Mhm.
was, "No, but we're inherently better than you because we bang our cousins." Like, I need you to think about it from that perspective, where you literally think that your skin color makes you better, but you have nothing to base it on. And anytime you're confronted with something that is supposed to be less than you, that is doing better than you have to destroy it because it's shattering your image of yourself and they can't handle it. So that's like the whole Cambridge Analytica thing. If you actually start looking into that, it was actually, they started out doing research on how to make the royal family palatable to the people to keep them from being deposed and being removed. So they already had started with this type of psyop thing. That's what all the data was for, was to try to keep them in power.
Mhm.
And then the thing is that it's one thing when we talk about the Willie effect. It's one thing when they utilize this to try to make sure that they stay. If a short term of this is make sure they stay valid, make sure that people acknowledge them and validate them. Any compromise of that validation is seen as a threat. And so then that's what the second step is, to make sure that you get people of those specific groups, those minority groups, to buy into it too, to a level of fealty that, like when you see Blaga, for example, well, with the Blexit movement, because the Blexit movement was going on the same time as Cambridge Analytica. It was going on at the same time. That was the movement of Black people from the Democratic Party towards the Republican Party, led by Candace Owens and Kanye West. So if you can get them to spew the rhetoric for you, instead of us hearing it from some white person, it becomes more believable because unconscious bias kicks in for a lot of people. And then why would this Black person lead us wrong?
Oh, but don't forget they also brought in Ice Cube, Killer
Yep.
Mike.
Mhm.
You have to start looking at why they would do that. So let's look at Ice Cube. Again, someone who is not super educated, who's, oh, I'm from the streets, but he's not.
They pissed me so off.
He's not, but
Mhm.
he's always been a front. And if you actually like, when you look at like the history of NWA, yes, he's a talented writer. Give him all of that. But his beef with Eazy-E was that Eazy-E was the one who produced it, like made sure everything was done, and he got paid off of it. And he also said, "Nigga, you frontin'," because again, Ice Cube comes from a two-parent upper middle class family. He was never in the streets. He wasn't dealing nothing. He was literally the upper middle class kid that they used to crash at his house.
Hey,
So
Alina.
that's someone who's fronting. So he's always had this thing of needing to try to prove himself. Then you look at Killer Mike, a dude who did untold harm to the community, but he's trying to pretend he's this intellectual when he's really not. He's also super insecure because, unlike his counterparts within the Atlanta music scene, he didn't make the same money because he didn't know how to read the contracts. So he got screwed over, even though they told him, "Hey, you need to get a lawyer involved." And he's like, "No, I know better." Again, that bravado. Again,
Mhm.
also wanting to put yourself in a position where you still want the patriarchy because you want to be strong Black man in charge. and you feel threatened by any person who is not allowing you to take credit for all of that, even though you know it was a woman who keeps you straight. Like his wife is the one who is the only reason he has money. Like that's not even a joke. She really is the only reason he has money.
Hmm.
So when you start looking at it from that perspective of wanting to perform, and then that reinforcement within boys and men of needing to conquer and put women in their place and humble women, and that has started very young. And you can even look at the education system, and then of course the social media aspect. They're literally telling these dudes that this is how you do it, not realizing that's to the detriment of them, which is why so many young, little white boys are sitting around unaliving themselves and everybody else because, well, I was told I was special and
And it
I'm a
don't go
special
that way.
trait.
Then you go into real life and realize that it's not it. That's what I'm saying. They're
What's up?
grooming, they're indoctrinating and grooming mass unalivers.
Jess, it made me think about Caso when he talks to the white tea racist on his panel. And he's like, how old were you when you peeped over at the urinal? It makes me scream. But that's such a like grab.
And you
It's
saw
such
that
a
his
grab.
dick was bigger than yours.
Yeah, but it's like that is how it is for them in every aspect. Like you remember that guy that was on your panel and I said, what do you like about being white? And he said nothing. And then I asked him to
Yep.
name a great white, and he couldn't name me one. Like he couldn't even name me one person that was white tea that he looked up to. I think that the video that really opened my eyes was the video of Cory Booker when he was sitting with the Zios with their little hats. And they said, well, what are we going to do about the youth, like the black youth? What are we going to do? And Cory Booker literally stood up there and he said, well, we got to get them while they're young. We got to talk to them while they're still like impressionable so that we can get them before their fucking frontal lobe develops essentially. And it's like, as young adults, like Free said, um, we do tend to have that like unconscious bias. If we see somebody from our community who holds a higher position or who's out there in the public and they're saying something, we're more likely to believe them. So they've been implementing this technique for a very long fucking time. People within our own communities, because they want to destroy our communities from within. From within. They know they can't do it on their own.
I'll get her name for you. She's in one of my videos. I think one of my last video that I posted, I quoted the representative. Um, she's a representative who also said this on our Senate floor. The reason why CRT is not never it will never be accepted. It's not because they don't want to know the facts. It's because factual information of their background will destroy the ego of the white child. It will destroy their confidence. That's the way they're taking it. Instead of saying, let's not let this be on this level of this being something that will destroy their ego, let's just put this in their narrative from as young as possible. So there is no association with, oh, I did that, so that hurt my pride as a people. I'm so tired. If you're really worried about CRT hurting the ego of the collective of white children on some mass scale, I'm also confused about, are you individualist or are you collective? If that wasn't you, then teaching CRT should not bother you that much.
Hey,
If
Alina.
that wasn't you, what is it? So it's like I call it convenient collectivism. They're collective when it's something successful, when it's something good, when it's something wonderful that contributes. But whenever it's something bad, it's, oh, I didn't do that. That wasn't me. My people didn't do that. My family wasn't here. There's all these cop outs of association. And the moment when people say that, I already know how fragile they are. And the truth of what she's saying, white children will crumble if they hear CRT because their parents will crumble. They won't know how to handle dealing with the truth of our history and how we can actually remedy a lot of these problems. There's no way we can come to terms with it. So my question is, how do we get to a place when we see this vision of the future? How do we get to a place in which true history is exposed, including this administration who's literally trying to erase history as we sit here and
Mhm.
trying to create their own narrative of how things go down to paint themselves in a better picture. How do we stop that? And how do we ensure that it's documented correctly when we have people who are willing to doctor, create AI and things that will like give a different that for example, that image of Obama shaking Osama bin Laden's hand. Now it's going to become an AI.
Hmm.
How are you going to protect youth from understanding that's AI?
So one of the things we do is by having social media chatter, like communication conversations like this. Two, we have to educate our kids. We have to stop relying on anybody on the outside teaching our children the truth. And we have to document it. It is our responsibility as the grown-ups, which I'm surprised I'm not a real grown-up on Tuesdays and every other Friday. I'm an adult. Every other time, I think I'm 7. Anywho, we have to take on that responsibility of documenting what happened. The reason that they were able to pretend slavery wasn't as horrific is because they were able to bury a lot of stuff. However, when those slave narratives came out, when they started finding all the photos, they had to acknowledge that this is what was going on. Things, documenting pictures, writings, that is a big one because that is what they're trying to get rid of. People being able to write stuff down, people being able to actually cognitively understand what's happening. And we have to push that. The reason I get so passionate about politics, specifically local politics, is because your school board determines how your children are educated, how they learn, and what the focus is.
Mm-hmm.
Those people, and it's again, it comes down from the governors and all those people. You have to make sure the people who are in those positions actually are educated, actually
Mm-hmm.
can put forth education that makes sense to kids. But too many times people keep talking about these tests. When testing became the focus of education, that became the issue. While I understand you need to show that schools are actually meeting a certain criteria, that shouldn't be what anchors funding for a school. And that is the problem. We have done this and it's disadvantaging anyone who is not middle or upper middle class or wealthy overall because their education is shit. And then you have parents who, because of capitalism, because they're so busy, they don't have the time, nor do they really want to. And sometimes they just don't have the knowledge to teach their kids.
Mm-hmm.
So it becomes our responsibility for those of us who have the time, who have the capability to do this, to do the education, to do the readings, to go to the libraries, to pass out books, to talk to kids. Because I I was in 4th grade when we were doing Virginia history, and my history book said that slaves were immigrants and they were wearing prairie clothes and antebellum clothes, and they came over and they worked and then they got freed. That was in the book. I brought it home and I said, "Ma, this ain't true."
757?
Nah, I'm in 703. I'm in Nova.
Who's that?
Yeah, that was Nova. So my mom came in with my cousin who's an attorney and with my
Because if
and
they
came
can
in.
change those books to say we immigrants, they
No.
could try to justify deporting Black people. Bitch, how we?
Yeah.
Anyways, that's a whole nother story. It's about to get me
Yeah,
all
so this
riled
was
up.
back in the day. So my mom threatened to sue them. That's why she showed up with my cousin who's an attorney and said, "You're going to teach this properly or we're going to sue the shit out of you."
Mm.
And then all of a sudden that book disappeared and they stopped teaching any of that.
Shout out to your mama.
Mama's gangster. No one after
Okay, we need more of them. Okay.
because
Yeah, but we also have to remember, KG, that in 2018 in Lorton, Virginia, a teacher was teaching. A teacher was teaching global religion. Do you remember this, KG?
global religion.
And
What
yeah,
happened? Because I
and
was on
then
the Fairfax
she
side.
okay, I was on the Fairfax side at that time too, but this is on Lorton. And this is like just like maybe 15 minutes away from where she and I were living. And the teacher was teaching global religion and she'd send the kids home with a assignment from each of those religious sectors, okay? In Islam, I don't know if you guys know this, but artwork is prohibited because it can become a false ideology under Muhammad Fa. Okay,
To the people who can't
the only
read the Quran?
you can only do calligraphy. That's why you see Allah written in so many different ways with these pretty writings. Calligraphy, like there are people who go to school just to be a classical calligraphy, calligraphist. Okay, textile is acceptable as well, but that's why you can look at the textile to determine where it is, because you can't have any pictures of people or animals in certain regions of the Islamic world. So textile and calligraphy are your forms of art. They don't typically do paintings or portraits of people. That's Islam. So when she sent the kids home with their assignment for Islam, she sent them home with an artwork of calligraphy of the word Allah. Do you know they got her fired?
They
Mm.
said it was
Six-
indoctrination.
They said she was saying it was an indoctrination and she was trying to turn them to is Muslim. She won't even Muslim. They terminated her. I will never forget that.
So, like somebody said,
Mm.
at this point, we need a class action lawsuit against the U.S. for sure. But then you could put turning point chapters. I don't know if you heard it, Saji, but they're putting turning point chapters in all the high schools in Florida. DeSantis made an announcement today.
That's crazy.
I
I
hope
did
they
see
just-
somebody coming home, like and showing their parents like a homework assignment with pictures of that person,
Mm-hmm.
and like trying to teach. Like, are you guys serious?
That's why Florida is always the testing ground for BS.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Also, did you guys see that a truck full of infected test lab monkeys crashed in Florida, and they were saying that they're pretty sure they caught all of them.
Except one.
Except one.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty-
Florida's really winning.
Wow. Wow. Here it is.
So today, announcing a partnership with Turning Point, we want to make sure that all high schools in Florida, anybody in a high school that wants to start a state Club America chapter will be able to do so. There shouldn't be any impediments to that, and certainly no discrimination. We're not going to allow that.
Hold on. Did he just do the Trump thing?
There shouldn't be any impediments to that, and certainly no discrimination. We're not going to
Hold
allow
on, y'all
that.
didn't see it. Hold on.
There shouldn't be any impediments to that, and certainly no discrimination. We're not going to allow that.
Did he move the hands, do the bigly thing, or am I tripping, y'all? Hold on, let me make me big. Let me make me big.
That man right there will probably first send you a nasty gram, and then drop the hammer.
Follow my lead. I found a girl, beautiful and sweet. Oh, I never knew you were the someone waiting for me. 'Cause we were just kids when we fell in love. Don't knowing what it was. I will not give you up this time. Darling, just kiss me slow. Your heart is all I own. And in your eyes, you're holding mine.
Unexpected intermission. All right, back to our regularly scheduled program. It sounded real good.
We'll follow you. I was like, did my music start playing or something? Like,
Quick commercial break. I know. Hey, Jay, baby. How you doing, boo? When that baby do? Okay, I'm gonna start it. Here we go.
Today, announcing a partnership with Turning Point. We want to make sure that all high schools in Florida, anybody in a high school that wants to start a state Club America chapter will be able to do so. There shouldn't be any impediments to that, and certainly no discrimination. We're not going to allow that.
He's trying to channel Trump.
In any school or school district that does try to discriminate, that man right there will probably first send you a nasty gram and then drop the hammer. So that will happen. And so this was founded earlier this year, but Club America is a new student-led organization designed to mobilize high schoolers to advocate for American values, freedom, free enterprise, and limited government. And obviously, Charlie started out as one of the lone voices on university campuses talking about those back in the day. We are also
Back in the day, nigga, it was last month.
Mm-hmm. I'm so glad I moved.
Back in the day.
So glad I'm not in Florida anymore.
I
Well,
know,
they done
it's been
forgot
the
his
longest.
ass already. It was like way back when, back in the day. Boy, just let me. Charlie somewhere like Charlie looking up at us like, them motherfuckers fuck me.
Dude, I know it's been the longest 9 months we've ever felt. Like, even none of my pregnancies felt this long, okay? But,
Oh my
but
God.
it's not what it was not back in the day. Whoever that was, okay, he just sent me a little gift. I'll follow you. You were a nice singer.
It
Okay,
sounded
you did a great
good.
job.
So remember when I said that the Turner Diaries and everything was written to get to youth? That this is something that they have their fifth graders reading as a form of indoctrinating and to white supremacy and to white supremacy. This is what I'm talking about.
White
This is
depravity.
what I'm talking about. Yeah, and honestly, it would be wise of us to get a copy of whatever that program of whatever they're trying to say they're going to like. You know how when you have a school club or something, there's narrative attached to that. It would be wise of us to read what that narrative is. It
Yeah,
would be
and then
wise.
we could bring our gangster mama and lawyer to sue the fucking schools for that.
Oh hell yeah! You always gotta always have a lawyer. Lawyers are friends. And so what you also do is you sit there if it's American chapter. Now, this would be how I would play with it as a black person who's diabolical. I would get that chap get when my school, I'd be the America First Club, and it would be all black. And all we would talk about is how evil white tea people have been to the United States. And it would focus on fascism. Now, if they tried to shut it down, you would say, but you're cutting off our freedom. You're removing our freedom. You're not for limited government if you're trying to
100%
tell
agree
me.
with you. 100% agree with you. Inside sabotage. 100% agree with you. Go in, infiltrate it as a collective. 100% agree with you. Take it over from the inside.
Yeah,
Take it
'cause that's
over.
what, and that's what they see, and that's why I was like, okay, these black women are getting degrees, businesses, entrepreneurs. They're getting grants from other because there's another. This is what's crazy. There's another. I don't know if you guys heard about the Fearless Fund. They were giving out 20,000 grants for women of color, and they got sued. And at first they won, and then they appealed it, and then they lost. So they said it's discrimination. Just in the last week, another company that was giving out grants to black people also got sued, and they lost. So you can't say that I'm giving it out just for black people. But there's a grant for $50,000 for Christians. You got to be a Christian to be able to get the grant. That is also to why are they not being sued for quote unquote discrimination? They don't want to. So they see all of us not only getting businesses. Uncle Nearest, she became the first billionaire, like liquor company, black owned, and they're getting in Congress. They're in the Oval Office. In the Oval Office, there's the vice president. They said, no, I gotta come on. We gotta attack this now because then we will be in the inside. And they're not just shutting up and taking it. Right? Mike Johnson threw that letter on that other black Congress lady's there. She came through that shit right back in his fucking face. Jasmine Crockett is speaking out. I don't know the bald headed lady name is, but I fucking love her too. Like they're not shutting up. AOC is not being quiet. We're already getting inside. And they say before let's nip this in the bud beforehand. Like you say, without white depravity, they have nothing. And they need the white people, they tell the biggest lie to them because they need them to uphold it. Because if they don't uphold it, then everybody kumbaya, then everybody can have a chance. And then we'll be really looking at the elites and seeing what they are really doing instead of allowing them to puppeteer us and divide us, which is why they was after Fred Hampton.
I just want to know, how the hell do white people walk around thinking they're superior? I just went to put gas on my car, and this man, okay, oh my God, girl, it looked like they had dumped all of that grease from the hot dogs at 7-Eleven on top of his hair. I could smell him as soon as I opened that fucking pressure door.
Ew.
Like, I wanted to turn on my camera so bad so you guys would see it. I was
Yo,
trying to hold my breath, and when I hold my breath, I want to cough.
when I went to that
Oh
place
God.
yesterday, remember I made a video about the guy that licked the salt and wanted me to taste it, about white people being nasty. Him and his brother was in there yesterday, and then there was another white guy sitting at the end. It was only a table there, and the chair at the other end, the skeleton was sitting in it. And I was like, "Fuck!" Or I got to sit in between them, and I didn't want to be on live, and whatever. So as soon as I got to that chair, it was like it stank. I was like, "Hey, Juan, I want that one over there." And he's like, "Oh, just wait, I got you." Da, da, da. That motherfucker smelled like ass, bitch. And it was like your typical. I knew he was a Trump supporter because I got this other white couple who voted for Kamala Harris, and we be talking this politics sometimes in there. And they talked to him because he's white, and he told me that he was a Trump supporter. He's like, it's crazy because they look run down and whatever. And then they scooted over, and then the guy kept talking to me, and he had this snot on his fucking nose, and he wouldn't it up, and then it was just real disgusting. And I'm like, I'm on live with my friend, it's her birthday, and you talking to me about a fucking Rubik's cube and talk about how you failed out of math and how you don't know in the Catholic Church and this and this shit, and I almost end up debating him after a couple of margaritas. Cause I'm like, you're an example. He was like, yeah, they keep us uneducated. I said, that's how they like y'all. And I said, oh, let me. And then finally one was like, oh, the chair is open over here. And he was like, you don't have to leave. I'm like, yeah, the fuck I do. And I was like, no, I'm on live. I don't want to be too loud or whatever. And then the waitress next to me, I said, yeah, I'm kind of loud, ain't I? And she was like, I said, say yes. And she said, well, you are a little bit. And I was like, yeah, see, I'm loud. Let me go around to the other. Them motherfuckers smell like ass, bitch. Corn chip ass. The fuck?
Girl, I said it in the chat. They don't have to say they support him. We can smell their support. Like, because
It's
those
almost
good
choked.
white, we can, girl.
That's probably who
we
made
can-
me sick. That's probably who made me sick because I woke up feeling like
Mhm.
shit this morning. I had a massive headache last night. I was so exhausted. I'm like, I laid down. I was asleep by, I don't know, early as fuck. I ain't never in the bed before 10.
Because I'm telling you, according to history, a majority of indigenous people were unalived from the sickness before they even laid eyes on a white tea person. That's how dirty they were.
It was
And
creeping
if
off
you
the
look at the
boat,
people,
bitch.
it was literally like fucking SpongeBob, the little green smoke that you see like when the stick. That's what I see. But it's like, and for the white tea allies that are listening, like y'all that support Kamala Harris, y'all smell good. Your skin is not aging like milk like theirs is. You look like you are not 25 in dog years. Like, it's a difference. I don't know how to explain it.
But that's what
Other
hate
than
will do. Hate will age
The
you.
hate.
Hate. That's what hate looks like. It will age
It
the
takes
fuck
a lot
out
of
of
work.
you.
It takes a lot of work to wake up every day and have that type of burden on your shoulders, in your heart, and in your mind. And it takes less effort to give people benefit of the doubt and let go. And they can't do that. So they hold
It's
on to
heavy.
it and they clench their butt cheeks. And whatever toxin they don't shit out stays in their body. It
What are
is
you
what
talking
it
about?
is.
Even the toxins that they shit out stay in their body because they said they don't wipe their butthole because they think it's night and day.
Somebody send them some net things to wash themselves, for Christ's sake.
I know, and they
Listen, you
still
know
won't
what?
use it.
Oh, this is level pet. This is level KGR petty. Okay, if y'all have workplaces that you work with white tea people or MAGA people, I don't care, either one, interchangeably. For the elephant exchange that they do around Christmas time, y'all better gift them all
No,
kinds
I already
of
did
body
that.
Soap,
products.
bitch.
Okay, and I'm not talking. No, hold on. I'm not talking about a regular like lotion. I'm not talking about lotion. Okay. Can you guys hear me? I see I have bars.
Yes,
Can you hear me?
Thank you, Denise.
Okay.
Good night,
I'm not talking
beautiful.
about
I
lotion. I'm
can
not
hear you.
talking about a cute bar of soap. I'm talking about get them those treatments for foot fungus. Okay? Get them a bottle of light shampoo. That's what we're getting people.
I know this is a
It's
random.
gonna be get them that toothpaste that is like, oh sorry, that
No,
that
go ahead,
triple
go ahead.
gingivitis toothpaste. Like it's gotta be very specific.
First of all, that's why
I
they
think I have
fucking
bars.
birds.
Go
I was
ahead.
just about to say, have anybody ever seen a baby pigeon?
Yo, I was just talking to my son about that today. Maybe that's what we're
With
talking about.
no hair, no
Do
hair,
they
Never seen
baby
a baby
pigeon.
pigeon.
do they come
I've
out
never
fucking
seen
Born and
fully
it.
raised in New
grown?
York City. That's all we see.
Huh?
No, they don't have any hair.
No.
They look like a rat with
Mm.
with elbows
Do
like
they keep
this.
them somewhere hidden until they get their fur or something?
Yeah, in the nest
No.
typically. I mean, that's what they did in New York. I mean, not New York, Germany.
Now, New York, they're just there all over the place.
Hey yo, did you know that there are colorful pigeons?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
No.
You know, doves and pigeons are basically the same bird.
I heard the pigeon is just like the blacks of the dove. I mean the black
Is it?
like they just gave him a really
Right.
bad name,
I was
discarded him, threw him to the side, and then they just gave them this great backstory to make them look good. But I heard they used to use the pigeons for
Mm-mm.
messaging and announcements they don't need them no more. They just shit them to the side. I was like,
I
oh,
was sharing that story.
that was you that
Yeah, I
said
was
that?
sharing that story. That was me that was talking about the pigeons because I said the doves just have like that good
PR.
what's it called,
Reputation?
advertisement. Yeah, they just have good propaganda out there, but they actually are not as smart as pigeons are. Pigeons were actually like, imagine being trained to take a message specifically to one person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, imagine you were sending a nude and it's sent to the wrong person back in the day.
Oh my goodness.
I'm
I
sorry,
just want
that's
to
my
know how.
imagination. That's my imagination, okay? But that's what I'm saying. But I hope y'all heard my previous message because I know I was cutting off. But that's my idea for the elephant exchange or whatever it is.
Mm. Yeah. Just get nothing but soap, lotion. What kind of lotion you say?
I said don't get a regular soap or lotion. I said get them that lice shampoo, that fungus powder, gingivitis toothpaste. Like it's gotta be specific.
Antibacterial
Okay?
soap.
Antibacterial soap. Okay, it's gotta drive the message home.
Oh my God, I'm hollering.
Instead of the African nets that we use, get the silver. You know, the silver scrubber.
Yeah, they
when you
they
do your
using the
dishes and
fucking
the pots and
dishes.
pans. Yeah.
Get in there. I'm talking about in there.
Okay, y'all know I'm gonna do this, right?
I already did it to somebody in my family.
As you should.
You know, I will literally sit there and be like, here's deodorant. Here is also some soap. This is how you scrub. And like one of those, you know how like those
Put
little
the
books that they
directions in there.
Yeah, the little books that they teach kids how to wash. Yeah, like, oh man, y'all have given me
Medical grade. Yeah, so if you
Medical
guys work
grade
in
deodorant
corporate,
prescription only.
if y'all work in corporate and y'all have like the Secret Santa, and you get
I think this is good.
Susie, definitely put all of those things in her gift. And if she can't use it, I'm pretty sure one of her counterparts or family members can use it. What up, Zay?
Good evening. Good evening. How you doing?
I'm blessed and highly favored. If you guys are not following Zay, also do so as well. Another We Are What's Left creator. Okay. We're gonna make sure that we amplify all of those creators and continue to build the platform they already built. We're just gonna double multiply them, y'all. Okay.
Triple it, quadruple it.
Mm-hmm. How you doing tonight?
Thank you. Thank you. I'm doing good tonight. I'm doing good. If you haven't heard the news already, I'm just now coming to find this out myself. But just as of 4 to 5 hours ago, for the trial of the unaliving of Sonia Massey, Sean Grayson has been found guilty.
Yay! Let's Everybody drop some coconuts, drop some gifts, drop some everything. Cause what the fuck? Yeah.
You knew.
He should have been. He should have fucking been. I watched that video immediately. I only watched it once and cried my ass off because that was just unfucking hinged. Oh my god. Oh, oh, oh my god.
It's the fact that whenever I see Black guys supporting Trump, and I think about the questioning, the attempt to try to neutralize this, what happened to her or marginalize it. This is fuck them all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You can never come back. I don't get this. What are we doing here?
Oh my
What the fuck are we
god.
doing?
That is great fucking
I
news.
thought
That
you
just
know.
I'm feeling oh my god. That is amazing. Cause oh my god.
I thought you knew, Jess. I shared it on my story earlier.
I
That's
don't
why.
I've been sick all day. I've been laying in the bed. I've been asleep. I have not done anything. I'm so tired. My body is aching. And I literally woke up too late and had to get up, throw a corn dog in the air fryer, do my makeup really fast, and go on live. But I did get some work done. I sent out some emails this morning from the bed, request of website updates, and create and post for free tonight and the We Are What's Left things. I did all of that. I said, let me get this out the way now so I can take a nap. I'm glad Zay shared it. Me too, in real time.
Yeah, man.
Thank
I
you, say.
found out myself. Because I was like, I saw somebody else hosting a live, just having discussions about it, but they didn't break the news at all until somebody said in the comment section, and I was like, guilty? What they talking about? So I looked it up. Yep, they it's all over the news media. So he was found guilty of Macy. Like even when I first saw the footage, completely messed up too. Like it was like, bruh, I know even the department being against you with this one, like even the department looked at you like you screwed up
Yeah.
and arrested night one. They obviously knew something that we didn't, and it's like there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no. So justice absolutely was served today.
Oh,
Absolutely, he did his job.
that
This
feels
time,
so
he did his
good.
job.
This time. That's right. This time.
Yes, the man literally, she just said, he told her to go in there. And then she said,
He told her to get it.
devil, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And you said, what? And you said what you said and you did what you said. Oh my God, that poor woman. And then the backstory, the allegedly it might, the wife got a problem at the hospital with her. She sent them like it was wild. It was wild. Oh my God. I could not rewatch that again after that. But I'm so glad that because they try to spin every fucking thing.
Excuse me, that was me. That was my Duolingo.
You bet. What you learn in Spanish?
I am learning French.
Oh, parlez-vous français?
His Duolingo is upset at him. He's like, come on, man. It's been over a week. Why haven't you given me attention? He's got that little frowny face with a cracked image.
Oh yeah, I just broke a year. So
Really? I was on a 346-day streak and I fucked it up and I ain't been back since. It kind of hurt my feelings.
no, I understand. Like it just keeps me busy, keeps me something doing, keep up with every single day.
Yeah, I'm doing Spanish now, and that's why I'm like, I love spending time. Another reason why I love spending time with Sanji, even when she's in like the Mexican panels and they all just speak in Spanish, I just be trying to catch words I know and stuff like that. Just trying to be more active. I want to be fluent because that seems to piss them off when somebody knows another language. And however I can do my due diligence and continuing to piss them off, I'm down for it.
Yeah, I am about to start doing a French accent here soon. Watch.
You about to start what?
I'll do a French accent here soon. God, I will.
And they be like, "Are you friends?" Sometimes when I go different places, and I'm like, "Could you please pass me that?" The first thing they want to know is, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, "Texas." And they're like, "No, you lie." And I said, "Yes, the fuck I am. Can't tell me. Where'd you get your accent? Why Why you want me to have a gold Texas accent? You want me to sound country, bitch? Want me to sound like you and your mother? Fuck you, brother. You know, so
We really should start trolling ICE agents. Like really, like if you know a separate language, just start trolling ICE agents. Like please,
I know, right?
please racially profile me. I know you want to do it.
Pull out my motherfucking car, bitch. I live here, hoe. I get your ass. Anyways, we should
And
start
so, like,
infiltrating.
Speak
What
something
about-
like Russian. Like find out, like learn 2 Russian phrases. That would F their brains raw.
Like, do
every
you
time
know
I pass
my
someone, say das vidanya, das vidanya.
Das Vidania? Just with throwing that accent, it sounds so for real, and will be. I be fucking them up.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna start.
you really just have to throw an accent because in reality, these ICE agents don't even speak another language. Okay. If you start, if you know, you just gotta like sound angry enough, and they would think you're German. Like, you know, you don't gotta actually learn it. But if you guys want me to hold a live so you can learn Spanish, I could do that. I actually used to teach the reverse for immigrants that were coming to the country that were working at the same place that my parents were. I would teach them English, and once they like quote unquote graduated from the first level of the class, I would have them run through and like pretend like I was so cute. I would like set up the room that I was teaching them out of to look like a grocery store, and then I would have them practice with me like what they would say. You know, it was really cute.
That's dope.
So we could do the reverse.
I'm gonna start crashing out like Lestat on the Interview with a Vampire. Bonui. when he yell out, when he be cursing people out in French, I can't help but I ain't gonna lie.
Is that what made you start learning French?
No, that's
you know,
not what
different
made me
things
start
provoke you. You know what I'm saying? Motivate you.
No. My grandmother has a descendant from France, but when I go and watch the show, it's actually fluent French. It's actually fluent French that they speak. So I was, oh, okay, shit, I can learn from them too. You know what I'm saying? But it's funny as hell when he be cursing people out.
I almost spit my fucking water out all over my computers.
I can curse out real good in Arabic. I was sitting side by side with people from Palestine. I learned how to curse really good.
Everybody learning curse words first. I don't know any curse words in French. I know how to say probably hello, thank you, welcome in, and stuff in like Punjabi, of course, Spanish, Japanese. I was on another app, a Japanese app, and it had different type of people on there, so that's why I was learning all the different languages and shit from. But just like the small stuff. So Tuesday, be sure to pick your Wednesday to co-host. Today we was free to be me. It'll be whatever topic you want. It could be debates. It could be basically how you would run your panel over here, so more people can get to know you and see how you work, your information, your knowledge, how amazing you are. But yeah, there's a link to pick whichever Wednesday works best for you. I think next week you guys are gonna have SoCal Smitty in the building. I think the week after that maybe open or it may be open.
Okay.
But yeah.
You said you sent the link through Discord or?
I think I said in both. It's in Discord. So if you look in the hold on one second. In the Discord, the We Are What's Love Discord, and you see Meet the Movement, if you just scroll up just like a little bit, you'll see a Calendly. And you just pick the Wednesday that works for you.
Okay, let me check real quick while I got you.
Okay.
Luis, who I cursed out, is back.
Luis, you're not busy. Welcome in.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing
How
good.
you
How are
doing?
you?
Another day in the paradise.
I know.
Tell me, I'm here.
Yes. So why do you think Trump is going to be president in 2028?
Okay. Do you see what is happening right now? Do you see how um everything has been perfect time? Right now, it's not going to be full stance. The government is shutting down deployments of troops, National Guard in 50 states. You guys are divided. Left and right are divided.
What do you mean,
And
you
this is
guys? Are
the
you? Do you live in
perfect,
America?
of course, I live in America and I born in the States. Yeah,
So
I'm Latino, Dominican.
no. I'm
Hmm.
saying you say you guys are divided, and not we are divided.
No, I said because I'm not even leftist. I'm not even right. I'm in the middle.
Are you American?
Yes, I am
Right.
American.
So
Hmm.
America is divided. We're divided.
Uh, Probably, yeah, because I'm in the middle. I don't really care. Yep.
What you mean you don't care?
But I don't really care. I can say this to you, my friend. It has been divided because the left blaming the right and vice versa. It's insane what is happening in this country. It's insane. And Donald Trump is the divine person to be on the third term. And you guys, if you keep fighting and dividing in the way you guys are, Donald Trump will be the president. And you cannot even avoid it because people will vote for this man because now the the government is shut down. It's not going to be food stands, and that's the perfect example. Now everybody's going
You
to be
tell me you're
suffering.
joking.
Deployments of troops, National Guard in 50 states is amazing for him.
Luis, who did you vote for?
I vote for Kamala Harris, but I don't like Trump. I
Oh
doesn't like
no,
it. I
no, I
rather
need your
somebody
He
else in
did
the
vote for
Republican
Kamala.
Party.
Luis.
Hmm.
Can we
He
talk?
did vote
Okay,
for Kamala.
Hold
But
on,
I'm
he,
gonna
I don't
actually.
understand what the hell is going on right now.
hold on,
Saying the
really
I
quick, just because.
truth.
okay.
Oh, I was gonna ask Free. Did she want to address first? Because I know it was. She said, "Hell no." Okay, who? Go ahead. I forgot who.
Luis, so why are you fronting? Like, I hope you're being bullshit. I hope you're joking around because
I'm not a troll. Mm-mm.
okay, you're not trolling right now.
I'm saying the truth. Do you know
No,
Steve Bannon is? Do you see his
yes, I
interview?
know all about Steve Bannon. I'm just going to point this out. It's not the left that's dividing anything. It's not even the right. It's white tea people dividing everything up and being unable to manage their own shit. You cannot sit here and blame people who believe in progress for what's happening. The government is shut down because Republicans refuse to do their jobs. It has nothing to do with Democrats because Democrats
Okay.
don't have a majority in the House or the Senate. So they can't do shit anyway. So that's one.
Oh,
Two, Trump, if you are okay, if anyone at all is okay for him running for a third term, then just say that you don't care about the Constitution and that you're actually anti-American because that is against the Constitution. We literally have a law with it's in the Constitution after FDR did his historic multiple terms, went over 2 terms. That's when they passed it saying no president can serve more than 11 consecutive years or 2 full terms. That is in our Constitution. So if you think that this motherfucker is going to get elected again, then what you are saying is that we should all acquiesce to a dictatorship and totalitarianism instead of looking at white tea people and right wing psychos who believe that they have the right to tell other people how to live their lives. And you're talking about stamps, it's called SNAP benefits, and it's SNAP, WIC, and TANF. That is what's on the line. It's not in every state that they've lost it because a lot of states have reserve funds that they can pay for it. It's only in red states where they haven't gotten the reimbursement. But again, it's red states that don't have any money and that are the welfare queens. So if you really want to talk about how we can come together, I'm going to tell you this. I will never come together with fascists. There will never be a time where I break bread with a
Ryan, turn
fucking
it off before it
Nazi.
gets broken.
You said what?
Don't yell at me.
Free.
So I was just about to say something and I accidentally pressed the button too soon because I didn't want to interrupt Kate I didn't want to interrupt KG, and I accidentally pressed the button while I was talking to Arya.
Oh, that's all.
But
Like, what's going on?
yeah,
Hey,
because
Papa.
I'm a little dumbfounded right now. Not dumbfounded, a little annoyed because Louis, the way you described events was like as much as you have your lives and the people that you have on your panel, you should have a better grasp on this. Now, if you're saying that you feel that Donald Trump is going to cheat, and get his third term, that's a no-brainer. We all know that. We all know that. But to sit and try to blame it on the left, when you have blatant evidence of the right doing a lot of political violence, political tea, initiating the gerrymandering, and not swearing in people who are supposed to be representing districts, then you are skipping a major part of the situation. And that's what's making me confused. I know you have this now y'all gonna laugh at this Asian Aryan on your live sometimes. And I'm not quite sure what part of how his dialogue is that's not sinking into you, of how toxic the right is. I'm not quite sure. But for some reason, you've decided to ignore the recent church pew-pewing, ignore
Oh my God.
kidnapping attempts,
Get the
ignore hiring G members in order to pew-pew political officials because you lost an election, ignore um, a an an A-list of Democratic senators that you want to knock off, or they want to knock off in order to eradicate the Democratic sitting system in Wisconsin. If you want to ignore all of these things going all the way back to J6, to say that the left is actually causing the violence, I don't even know what you're using as your premise. Why don't you do me this? Do me a favor. Provide me a portfolio of left-wing extremists who have committed the same level of political violence in tea that the right has. I'll wait.
Also, if you are writing,
That okay.
Hold on, hold on.
okay,
I
Hold on.
thought
Let
you
him
guys
respond real
land
quick.
your plan. Okay. Let me know when you finish.
No. Go ahead. I'm
So
gonna
I
let
can
you.
talk.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Let me start with PGR Sons. Okay. You spoke about the 22nd Amendment. It's there for a reason. It was actually made it after, because the actual Constitution nowhere says that a president can run for more than two, just for 2 terms. There was an amendment made it after, okay, after one of the presidents runs 4 terms, right?
and I told you that.
So,
I
so,
told you that, sir. You're
so
not going to
if you
educate
go
me
a
on
little
that.
bit back, oh, you're gonna start filibustering me and interrupting
That's not a
me.
filibuster. The problem is
Okay, perfect.
you're
Can
being
I finish?
Hold on, hold on.
Okay,
Let him
cool.
finish. Let him finish.
I'm gonna mute myself.
No. Go finish. Finish.
Okay.
Finish so we can get
So
all the
if you
notes.
go back, okay, on the Federalist Papers, over there it says that a president, just for the will of the American people, a president can run many times as one, and nobody can stop this, right? There's many ways that Donald Trump can run for third, fourth, fifth, any times the one. Unfortunately, I'm not agree with, but it's impossible right now. Do you believe the government will reopen soon? No, it's not going to happen. This is my prediction. You know what is going to happen? He's going to deploy troops, National Guard in 50 states. Okay, it's going to be like that. And you guys going to praise Donald Trump. Those who are receiving for former food stamps that are snaps. Okay, and thank you. I see your finger. I appreciate it. I love it. It makes me better person. That's why people. I mean, right now, it is what it is. It's inevitable. You cannot stop what is coming. You guys cannot even talk on social media, neither me, because it's going to happen. He's going to be an authoritarian, unfortunately, because by the time the Democrats doesn't open the government because they need 60 votes and filibustering, it's going to happen. And they're giving full power to Donald Trump to be a dictator. And this is what you guys blame him for. Do you understand he's cleaning the Congress? Everybody's going to lose, unfortunately. It's happening. I'm not agreeing with, but I'm telling you facts, know my feelings. It is what it is. It's happening right now. Right now, when do you believe, host, that the government will reopen? That's my first question.
Okay. I'll tell you exactly when the government's going to reopen. So he pulled this shit before 4 major elections in states where they are going to flip from being Republican run states to Democratic run states. He didn't plan on those 4 states to have reserves to be able to pay for all this. So this was him trying to influence an election, specifically because all of the special elections that have happened have led to Democrats being elected in the past 9 months. What you don't seem to understand is that, yeah, the the amendments are actually add-ons to the Constitution, making them law. So, yeah, after Franklin Delano Roosevelt ran for his 3rd term, that's when Congress came in, and when he ran for his 4th term, they finally got the amendment put in place, stating that no president can serve more than 11 consecutive years or 2 full terms. That is it, which allows for a vice president to take over after 1 year if the president unalives, and then he can run for 2 terms. Other than that, if you are duly elected, you can only serve 2 terms. That is it. That is all. If you are okay with a dictatorship and you think, oh, there's nothing you can do about it, I'm in the middle. Do you know what we call people who fence ride? We call y'all literal fashion. Y'all are literal bitches because y'all don't want to actually pick a side and stand 10 toes down in a position. If you're cool with dictatorship and you say it's unavoidable, then why the fuck don't you just leave? Because I don't believe that we can sit here, and I'm black. So I'm gonna tell you something. They told us that we wouldn't get free too. They told us we would never have integration, that we would never have any type of social mobility, that we would never own shit. And as we've proven, that's not the case. So people like you who come with this bullshit, I'm in the middle. Oh, it's just going to happen. He can win. First off, the nigga is 80.
That
The
was
nigga is
gonna be a question too.
with heart failure and having multiple strokes, having to do cognitive tests and bragging about being able to know what a lion is. If you don't see that we have to do this and that this whole ploy was to try to influence the governor's races in 4 states, all of these things that are going on and having to do with the gerrymandering that is currently happening, then you are literally ignorant. Also, don't ever come up here and think that you're going to educate me on some shit about the Constitution and the amendments, and you didn't even know which president it was who ran for 4 terms. Don't ever fucking condescend to me, bitch, because I don't play that shit. You don't know enough about the history of this country and how many times we almost skirted with dictatorship. That is not the first time. Actually, Andrew Jackson was the first one who tried the shit, and he got his ass smacked down. And that was during slavery, and he got his ass smacked down. Before that, we actually had it with third president, Jefferson. Jefferson tried that shit too, but he learned he didn't have enough money to cover his bases. So you don't even understand the history of this country to be talking like this, and then to fix your mouth to say, well, if the left is not nice to the right, I don't fuck with fascists. Neo-Nazis and Snazis can suck it from the back disrespectfully. I will never break bread. They will never be welcome. And I feel like we should all try them and put them in prison and under the jail. They are traitors. And I will never give them bread.
But we're the Schnazis, right? But you want to put people in jail and go to the prison? Do you hear what you're saying right now? That's insane.
Democrat,
Yeah,
Democrat, rage. Do you not have
That's
any
why.
type of discipline? Hello, how you doing? You just come in and just jump over everybody?
You're okay. Well, you're okay with that? You're okay?
You're gonna
But
have to wait your turn. I
okay,
promise. I'll give you a moment to speak, and you know, I'll let you be able to say something. But give me a second because Lewis has an opportunity to respond. I think Zay may want to say something. I think Sanjay as well, and I have a question as well. Okay. All right, Lewis, did you want to respond?
all right. So it was a actually, I'm surprised because the way she literally insulting, I don't care because I'm accustomed to this. They blaming the left, the right, but yeah, this is the example of of why Donald Trump is going to be there, because she's blaming him, blaming me. By the time she's paying taxes, Donald Trump is getting and seizing all the institutions, and then she's insulting me because I agree in certain things that she says. I'm not agree with dictatorship. What I'm saying is, what is happening is the behavior that you have. And we're talking, we're having a cool conversation. Uh, and trust me, I'm not agree with Trump. I'm not agree with this guy. I don't care. You know what I mean? I hope he don't run for a third term. I'm telling you what is happening right now. Because tell me, let's go back, let's go on middle ground right now. We have a government shut down. Donald Trump is having full power to do whatever he wants. We don't have Congress in functions. It's not working right now. Prove me wrong if it's working. That's my first question to you. Is Donald Trump doesn't want even to fund what is the most important is the food for the American people. He doesn't care. But people like you, with my all respect, is what they need to boost his base and win the election. This is what I'm saying. And this encourage people to don't go to the polls in 2028. And how you gonna avoid that these Republicans that I call, they're gonna put him in the ballot. If the people, if the who won the election, it was Trump. And people says, no, he's not gonna win. He's not. Yes. And now you're boosting more people. Do you think people will vote for Democrats after this shut it down? Unfortunately, it's not gonna happen. I mean, I'm giving up. I'm giving
Hold on,
up.
hold on.
I don't
Hold on,
voting for
let him finish
anybody.
it real
Oh,
quick.
you're gonna talk over me, really?
I got this, Louis. I know I saw your videos. It gets a little hectic in your panels. Everybody's talking over everybody, and you barely have control. Okay, so don't act like you're not used to somebody talking over other people. Like you're just better
No,
than I just
I
watched the
actually
videos. So
no,
I'm letting you know
I
that I
mute
got it. I
myself.
got it. I got it. I got it. I'm just I'm letting you know I got it. Now go ahead. Now fit can you
How many
go ahead and
times
land your
do
plane?
you mute me, host? None. I'll mute myself and I let people to speak.
No, what I'm saying is I'm giving everybody a chance to speak. So if they're talking over you, I'm gonna say, "Hey, let them finish." Okay, I'm letting you know I
Oh
got
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
don't have to like
Don't worry
no.
about it.
Okay.
No, yeah, I
Okay. I
think
just
I
have one
done.
question. When you're playing dodgeball and you stand in the middle, what happens? What's more likely to happen?
I always being in the middle. I don't vote for a party. I vote for a person. If you're running and you're a Democrat or you're a Republican, you're independent, you are a third positionist, a fascist, whatever, and I believe you're um like whatever you're gonna do, right? Your
No,
policies or anything disagree and align with me, I'm good.
no, I'm
I
talking
voted
about.
for that person.
I know I wasn't
Mhm.
asking that. I was like, when you're playing dodgeball and you stand in the middle, what will be like most likely to happen?
What do you mean about it?
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me introduce Democrat Rage, and I know you wanted to respond to him. Democrat Rage, what got you raging?
No, I mean, it's Democrat rage because I mean that was like when Democrats raged over the election results. But the thing is, what she just said was absolutely nuts, and you're condoning it. I mean, she just said she wanted to throw us under the prison cell, under
Who is
jail
us?
because you guys. I mean, you didn't chime in and say, "Hey, that's wrong to say." You let it happen, so you're
Time
at fault
out.
for that.
Time out. Time out. Time out. Time out. Time out. I'm sorry.
I'm not done
Hold
speaking
on. Let
either.
him finish because then when you get the cooking, I want him to let you have it. Okay. You said that
Okay.
you said we she want to throw who under the jail, and you
MAGA.
said
She wants to throw Trump supporters under the jail. She just said she wants to arrest all of them. She just called us Nazis. She called Trump a dictator fascist, and this is exactly why the Democrats lose because they keep spewing this bull crap that he's a terrible leader, and this is the type of rhetoric that got Charlie Kirk unalived in the first place was because of rhetoric like this. But you guys condone it. You guys don't say anything, which is insane to me. So I want to hear you say it, host. Say that you don't condone what she said.
Okay, Zay, would you like to respond?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay, yeah,
respond.
she condones it. There you have it. There you have it. There's the left for you. That's why they keep losing.
So Democrat, so Democrat rage. One, the whole spew you just went on was peak victim mentality, because I wholeheartedly know that Kay was referring to neo-Nazis. She made it very clear she was referring to neo-Nazis and other forms of hate in
She
this
just
country.
said she hates all MAGA. And
Hold
that
on,
the Nazis
Democrat.
are fascist
You
dictators.
see how he was, respectful. Just let you be able to talk, and it's a two-way street. When he finished, you can definitely
Well, I mean,
respond.
you condone the stuff.
So again,
What? So you don't have any control. You're the only one raging. Everybody in here is having a conversation, and you're the only one
I think
raging
it's
right
very
now.
valid. I think
All
it's
right,
very
so
valid.
please
I
be
don't think
quiet. You don't have any impulse control. That's the first problem.
So Democrat, evidently you caught the very end of the conversation, because they were literally talking about Donald Trump getting a third term, which by definition is unconstitutional in all forms of a dictatorship, right? So she was referring to that, and anybody that supports a third term in a dictatorship, and the fact that, again, neo-Nazis also support the Republican Party, as evidently shown throughout these past few months, that they are all traitors and deserve to be tried and put under the jail. That's what she was referring to. You caught the very end where she said neo-Nazis, and you went on this entire victim mentality rant, basically being a hit dog hollering. That's why I wanted to call you out, because frankly,
playing victim.
God damn! 1 second. Shit. They be wanting to demand respect, but don't want to give it.
Like quite literally, you said, "Oh, she wants us under the jail." Schnazi? Are you calling yourself a Schnazi? Is that what that is? Because frankly, again, you weren't here the entire conversation to be even saying that, and you were so passionate to interrupt her when she wasn't even done herself. And now you are interrupting me. So I just find that very crazy. The second thing is, on top of, this is the rhetoric that led to Charlie Kirk being unalive. First of all,
It is, by the way.
So first of all, the dude was a groiper. Tyler Robinson was a groiper. He was a whole Nick Fuentes fan. Nick Fuentes is so
true. That is such.
Calm down. You will have a check. Write down your notes, because you're acting just like your profile picture. Damn.
So just so we're clear, the context is absolutely there, right? There is so much details and evidence showing that man was a groper based off his background, right?
Yeah. First of all, that is completely false. He wasn't a Nick Fuentes supporter. He wasn't even MAGA to begin with. Second of all, what he said in general was that Donald Trump is a Nazi and all that. First of all, what Donald Trump said is that he would be okay with a third term if it doesn't go against the U.S. Constitution. I mean, if it doesn't go against the U.S. Constitution, which there is a way to do so. If you read the 22nd and 12th Amendment, there is a way for the 22nd and 12th Amendment, which he said he wasn't going to do anyway.
That's irrelevant, and that's not.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. Go ahead and finish, because
Some people without brains do an awful lot of talking.
The thing is, if you guys actually read the 22nd and 12th Amendment, you would know it's possible for a president to actually run as vice president and have the president drop down to become president for a third term. You would know that if you actually knew the U.S. Constitution.
Hold on, Free, I got
That's
you.
the first thing. The second thing is, the fact of the matter is, just because, let's say we wanted Trump for a third term, most of America, by the way, this is the majority of America, because Democrats aren't the majority anymore. But the majority of America wants Donald Trump as president. Again, but the thing is, you guys are calling us Nazis. You're calling him a dictator, and you guys are the ones playing. Hey, XA's why you're the one playing victim mentality here, because usually you guys always say Trump's a dictator. Anyways, I just saw your comments in the middle of talking saying, "Oh, well, he did say he's a dictator." Oh, but they do dictator stuff. They do.
What is a
Nazi
dictator?
Stuff. You guys say it all the time.
Democrat rage. What's
you
a
guys
dictator?
say it all the time.
What's a dictator?
Doesn't follow. A dictator doesn't follow any. It has its own regime. Doesn't follow any government rules or anything whatsoever, and does whatever they want, throwing people under. Going after people, going against the Constitution.
Is Donald
you're
Trump,
waving
is
your hand.
Donald Trump,
First of all, host, you're not even educated enough to know the Constitution, because obviously you don't know that.
I actually literally explained it to you. You're so dumb. You didn't actually listen to what the hell I said.
Hold on, really quick. What you say you think I didn't know, Democrat Ray?
the Constitution.
We do not care.
Drop some coconuts for Ellen in the chat, baby. She said, all right, drop this bitch when y'all get done with him. It wasn't no. You're the only one raging. You got a problem. You don't know me. You don't know my education.
So I just find it absolutely crazy. Like, he just
Hey,
continued with
Daddy
the
Swan.
condescending and questioning people's intelligence. That was absolutely crazy to even say. If you don't mind, is it okay if I finish what I was saying? I had a
Please,
phone
yes,
call.
please do. I saw it
Yeah,
go
no.
mute. I thought you was because you asked the question, then it went mute. So I was like, okay, maybe him.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. So again, even the gaslighting is crazy. You peep how he said that I have a victim mentality because I'm claiming it's a dictatorship, this and a whole bunch of neo-Nazis there, when we know there are signs of a dictatorship. Guess what? That's exactly how fascists work. They gaslight. That's all they do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So here's the issue with people like Democrat rage, right? Because they quite literally will project all of their violent and hateful rhetoric onto others, but don't recognize nor do they hold each other accountable for the violence that they commit. We quite literally see it, right? Notice, oh, this is why Charlie Kirk was unalive. I wanted to finish what that was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Robinson, there is evidence that
shit,
Tyler
that was
Robinson.
accident.
Oh, she invited me back in.
Oh, accident. My bad. I was trying to go to your page and see how much hate has aged you.
I'm deep.
No,
I'm
he
dead.
got excited.
I'm weak as fuck.
Oh shit, I'm back.
Like, it's so funny they bring up Charlie Kirk's unalivement, but there's evidence to Tyler Robinson being fans of Nick Fuentes, and all of his fans are called groypers. They're even so far right that they could be center at times. They don't like neo-Nazis themselves. They don't like that type of hateful. They don't. Nick Fuentes doesn't like Charlie Kirk. Nick Fuentes does not like Charlie Kirk himself, right? So that's minute. You know what I'm saying? That's
So it sounds like they're
minute.
divided on their own side, per what Lewis
Like
was.
literally, they are so divided. They have no choice but to blame the left so that it looks like they can still look strong together. That's what it is.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes. And we need to exploit that. We need to exploit that rift. We need to do the same thing that they try to do to us. I'm sorry. Look, y'all want to take the whole Michelle Obama road. I was like, oh, that's so sweet and nice. How cute. I was never for that shit. I was always for, okay, look for their weaknesses, exploit their weaknesses, and pit them against each other the way they pit us against each other.
Yep.
That's how it has to be done. And you don't have to do it in a derogatory or low scummy way. You can do it just with logic. You can pit people against each other with logic. So go ahead, boo. I'm sorry because I lost connection.
And it's so ironic. It is so ironic that the only examples that they could ever tell you of, oh, the left is hunting down and targeting the right, is when they bring up Charlie Kirk and any mass pew-pewing done by a transgender person, when there's only like 4. Those are the only instances they can ever think of to say the left is targeting the right.
There's only been one, and that person again targeted a school and they were also male identified, and it was literally revenge. So let's be for real. It was only one trans person who did it.
Right. And so it's again, like I said, it is peak victim mentality. And frankly, they're going to keep doing it so that they have a reason to use the National Guard or have a reason to say, oh, we need Donald Trump for a 3rd term, in which they don't even see themselves that they're being so un-American because of people that they hate. They don't see it. They are quite literally stooping so low, the complete opposite of the American dream because of the people they hate. You know what I'm saying? So the whole you're upset. You want to you call us neo-Nazis and stuff like that, dude. If it quacks like a duck, but they don't like to read a book.
I just want to say something if it's okay. I just want to say something if it's okay. Y'all, you MAGA men need to just come to the realization that you're not straight. And that is okay. It is 2025. But the way that you weirdos have been grieving this man is absolutely nuts. Not even his wife could muster a real tear to come out of her eye fucking pockets. Okay, this woman had to look up at the bright lights to get her eyes to tear up. She got to look at the stage lights to try to get her eyes to burn up a little bit to look like her eyes were crying. And you guys come up on this panel talking about this man that nobody gives a fuck about. He was a glorified podcaster. He didn't
Yeah.
even make an impact. Nobody outside of the debate bros even really knew him. This is actually really cringe. And you guys come up here and you crash out. Yeah, you want to call us crybabies or whatever the hell it is. Like, you couldn't even have enough decorum to stay on mute when it wasn't your time to speak. Nobody cares about CK. I have ran over, one time I hit a bird on accident while I was driving and I cried the whole way home. Like, that's how devastating it was. I did not shed one tear over this man. I didn't even
Or his
pause.
wife.
I didn't even
Neither did his
pause.
wife.
Neither
She
did
didn't either.
she hugged onto DT so hard, okay, trying to feel something, and we know she couldn't feel anything on those pants,
Mhm.
but she hugged onto him so tight. I have never seen a woman grieving start up her company, put up merge on the same night. She didn't even lose any sleep that night. So just come out the closet. Just say you had a crush on him. And I
Yeah.
don't even know why. Like, to be honest, I don't want to ramble, but to be honest, that man was one of the most unattractive men I had ever laid eyes on. His entire face span on 1 square inch of his
No.
nose, his eyes, his
Fuzzy.
mouth.
You ever seen that Snapchat app? You ever seen the Snapchat app where it kind of takes it and looks like somebody pinched everything and it came into
Yes.
the scene?
I'm
Yes.
Have you seen
hollering.
them gums?
The job that none of y'all freaking believe in.
Those some horse gums. That
I have
man
seen
got.
emojis that are more proportional and symmetric than he was. Like, why are we grieving him? What did he do? What did he do for you? Motherfucker didn't even know. Were any of y'all even invited to the funeral? No, because you didn't know him. His family don't know you. You guys are mad weird.
Which is wild. Which is wild. That one guy said he would never cry in front of his wife and his children because he's a strong man. I got to be a strong man. Even if my kids were unalived, I still wouldn't cry in front of my wife. Even if my wife was going through something, I wouldn't cry. Soon as that happened, he cried in front of thousands of people. So the crazy thing is, and he got mad because he wasn't invited to the memorial. You wouldn't cry if your kids were unalive. You wouldn't cry if your wife was going through anything. But when this happens, all of a sudden you got snot on your podcast in front of everybody, and then you get mad because you're not invited to the party. Yeah. Thank you, Mal. That part. Okay.
I
Yeah.
find it. You know what I find so crazy, that just to host their own version of uh to host their own version of the Super Bowl halftime show, to uphold quote unquote American American values, and still claim that Charlie Kirk was somehow not racist when that's how they're honoring him, is just complete and utter delusion to me. Like,
hmm But they are
complete and utter
delusional.
delusion.
They have to hold on to that. They have to hold on to that. That's all that they have. Like Saudi said, we had this guy come up here. He was racist. But he has nothing to be proud of when it comes to being white. Only thing he was proud of is white supremacy, which is really white depravity. That's why I call it white depravity now. I can't even call it white supremacy because is it really? Like Casso say, once you looked over into that other urinal and you saw what you start questioning everything. And you just been fighting what you've been taught to make it real, and it's just not real. It's not real.
Like,
Remember when I
do
said that the fragility, white fragility, it's just it's so widespread and and it is the sad part is that white fragility is literally what was holding up our democracy to a certain degree. And this is why people who had to come to terms of reprogramming themselves um crumbled and weren't able to handle some of the truth. This is why, because white fragility is the one thing that is they're clinging on to in order to make themselves a constant victim.
Mm-hmm.
And by CK's unalivement, you see how they all attach themselves, especially MAGA, they all attach themselves to Trump. When you attack Trump, you're attacking them. And if you're
Mm-hmm.
attacking them and you're attacking Trump, then you're attacking the country, because that's what the country has to be about. It's like this uniformed entity or deity that has to be collected together at all times. So now they want to say Charlie Kirk was all this, and his unalivement was a symbolism of how bad Democrats were. Are they? You can see that the fragility of him going down is their excuse to try to be in the spotlight and a victim again. They're literally using his unalivement as a way to make themselves a bigger victim. Y'all, listen, you saltine, lack of sugar and oatmeal motherfuckers. Listen, CK is unalive, not you. You are still here. You are still freaking here. And your desperation to cling on to anything that's trendy so that you can stay relevant is part of why you shouldn't be leading the fucking government. Seriously, what are we doing? What are we doing right now?
You know how they try to place the blame of this guy on his trans lover, as they call them? Every time we see a person of color, whether it's black or brown, on the news commit a crime, we should start claiming that they had a white cis hetero
Yeah,
male friend.
obvious not obviously, well, obviously, yeah, because he had a white, allegedly heterosexual dad in the house is why he became what he became. Okay, which is why he is here.
Yep. If you hear on the news,
Thank you,
Latino stole
Dad.
something from a store, you gotta blame it on their white teacher. Okay, they had a white teacher in school. The mailman was white. Okay, their mailman was white, and that's what influenced them. Cause this shit is ridiculous. What are you talking about?
Crazy.
And when that guy said, who was it that said that they were hoping that it was not one of them? Who was that went out and said they were hoping it was not
Utah
one of them?
governor, Utah
Yeah,
governor.
the governor of Utah.
He was crying when he
Literally
found out, bitch.
in that white saltine state. Nothing but little saltine crackers everywhere.
This is why
Now
it's
they
hard to
have
stay in Christianity. You were praying to God to answer your prayers to hope that it was an immigrant or a person of color that unalived this man. So it wouldn't be one of yours. Hey, Chris.
They
Thank
all
you,
were.
love.
They all were.
And then
They all were.
you want me to pray to that same God? You expected him to answer your prayers.
They do it every single time. If we be completely honest, they doing it every single time. They show their selectiveness with who they want to generalize. If it's not a straight white man, they're going to rope in the entire black community. 1350, like they love to say. If it's not a straight white man, if it's a transgender person, this is the 20th transgender to pew pew a school and kill
Still
somebody.
white.
Excuse me. Right. Still a white person.
Still
But
white.
we know it's only been one transgender person to do stuff like that, right? Oh, they're part of the LGBT community. They had a trans lover. Oh, them damn libs, the radical left, the LGBT community. Like that's all they do. But the moment it's a white person, a straight Christian white male, oh, we got to look out for the mental health, guys. What about the mental health? You know, we're not all bad apples. It's not all of us. We have to do better, guys. We're gonna pray for his mental health because that's what matters most.
And you
Like
know,
that's what they do.
and you know what I say to that? If all of these school unalivings are overwhelmingly majority white men, right? And they all have this mental health. It seems like a lot of white men have mental health issues. So white men should not be leading the country. They should go through extensive testing, background vetting, before they can hold any positions of power. Because obviously, genetically or hereditarily, whatever, you guys have a mental health problem that could cause the unaliving of a lot of Americans. So you shouldn't be holding positions of power because you're more likely to have a mental illness that will be a detriment to the rest of the country, right?
Absolutely. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Like
And racially profiled. They need to be racially profiled. I don't understand why they're not racially profiled. We
I think that's
profile
going to be
people
one of
for
I
way
think that's going
less.
to be one of my topics. White mental health leads to more mass pupillings.
Let me know so I can join. Okay. If you guys are not following Zay, following the entire panel with Zay and Free are creators of We Are What's Left who are out here doing the fight and using their platforms to have these conversations. Give them a follow, join their lives, show them support, show them love. Because again, as content creators, y'all know it's not easy. Okay. And it takes a lot of time. And like my
And
girl
this
Mark
is
say, education ain't free.
and this is why white women aren't even choosing to reproduce with us. So when RFK comes up there and he talks about the reproduction rate or the replacement rate of this country, we know automatically he's talking about the white population, because brown people have ways to increase the population and the replacement of workforce in this country. But whenever brown people come in too much, they always make an excuse for us. I hope you guys can't hear Doc McStuffin singing in the background. But the thing is this is that he sat up there and here's what I find even more funny. This little peen that was up here earlier, RFK doesn't even see him as valid anymore. He's not even useful. RFK literally got on a stage and stated that young men, especially boys, have half the amount of testosterone and sperm count that a 65-year-old man has. And they're just cheering him on. Yeah, we don't have sperm count. We don't have testosterone. Yeah, stick it to the libtards. That's how stupid they are. They're being written out and they don't even realize they're being written out as these nut jobs. The only person they need to pardon is Warren Jeff want to put these 65-year-olds with these young girls. That's literally what they're trying to express in this theory. They then go on to say that young girls are having their periods 6 years earlier than they did years ago. 6 years. We all know good and well that we have our period, not Tuesday. I'll give you an exemption on this. We have our period between the ages of 7 and 13 on average. Some a little bit, maybe 1 year early, some a little bit 1 year late. If you take 6 away from 8 or 7, are you telling me 2-year-olds are having their period? And they're just cheering it on. They're not even thinking about it. They're not even thinking about what is being said in front of them and analyzing it entirely.
That's
You're
what I say when he said, "I love the
fighting
poorly
your own
educated." When he said, "Smart people don't like me," they cheered him on. You's a dummy, bitch.
I just know for a certain fact that I will never take a quote unquote secretary of health or whatever you call him. I will never take that man serious when he is one script away from saying chocolate, sweet, sweet chocolate. That's literally like you can't like he's literally one line away from saying that. One script.
I don't know what type of line, because back in school he had the spoon. Okay, so he might be on the lines now. I don't know.
He owns something that he won't recover from. Shit. I'm just saying, bro. Like,
but Zay, you are aware that they have also have changed the law, tried to change the laws in states to lower the age of consent. So how are they not putting this together that young white men are getting written out?
That's all they holding on to. And instead of, if you got to make all these laws and force people to like you and stuff, why don't you just be better? Be a better fucking human being, right? If you instead of getting mad because she don't want to have a baby with you, she don't want to carry on your dusty, musty ass legacy. Why don't you just stop being hateful and stop being a bigoted, a racist? Stop beating her ass. Stop knocking her head up between the and educate yourself. Why wouldn't you do that? That motherfucker will do anything but be better, bitch. No, I'm gonna pass a law. I would all the energy you put into passing a law and to forcing women to stay married to you and have your babies, you could be putting in that into being a better fucking individual. A man that she would be happy to fucking marry, be with, have babies with. But now you gotta force a bitch. Now look at you.
That's the extinction burst for you. And I don't know if y'all have heard of this already, but it is clear signs of how desperate they are in white supremacy. This is literally the extinction burst in real time,
Mm-hmm.
where we see that not only is they're going out their way to reverse all the progress made in this country back to the 1920s as quickly as they possibly can before they get voted out. But we see, like, even with just the no fault divorce thing, and trying to keep white women to stay with white men, it's very evident, especially with the type of stuff that they preach, right? Just like Free said earlier, this type of stuff that RFK was saying, right? CK was preaching some of the exact same stuff. He was out there advocating for the Great Replacement Theory. For those that don't know what the Great Replacement Theory is, it's essentially a full-blown white supremacist conspiracy theory that that they are being, like, any other race that's not of European descent, that's not white, is going out their way to come after them and have the population shrink indefinitely, right? Like, they will one day be eradicated by all the minorities. But in reality, they know for a fact that it's their white women that's contributing to it. Their white women aren't taking the BS no more. Their white women don't want to be union with folks that have that crazy ideology. They're done being treated that way. A lot of them
Mm-hmm.
are. You know what I'm saying? And they don't like that at all. So they are going to try and reverse the no fault divorce. They are going to overturn Roe v. Wade. They're also going to eventually they're going to reevaluate same sex marriage, because there's a lot of white women out here that are getting married to other white women, and they don't like that either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they be like, anybody but him, anybody
That
but the
says a
man.
lot about them.
But
That
the
says a lot about them when a woman leaves for another woman.
Exactly.
Like, oops, you ain't doing your job,
that
brother.
punani, that
Now,
punani.
I
Sister's doing a
understand.
better job.
I understand that a lot of women are lesbians, but imagine finding out you a lesbian because you don't like him so much. Like, imagine her figuring it out because of you, because you sort of got a damn bad. Not just exploring life or understanding that about herself. Like, bitch, I didn't even know I like women till I got married to this motherfucker. I was like, oh, hell no, hell no, won't be doing that one again.
And the thing we have to remember also is that when Zay's talking about, and when we're talking about how white women are no longer choosing them with the replacement theory, that is why you have these states that are passing these specific IVF laws. And this is where the aspect of where I originally came into TikTok to try to help people with this. And it was a much friendlier time then. But now we have states. Right now, before you get IVF transfer, you have to get a consultation with that clinic. Before, you guys, it was a 2-month wait max. You're now looking at 6 months to a year wait in a blue state. And the reason is when you have states such as Alabama, Oklahoma, Arkansas now, and Florida passing um, conception laws that say life begins at the fertilization of the egg, that you are then locked in and having to have those children. And that the damage to these embryos that are sitting on ice waiting to be utilized is considered murder or harm to a child. Now imagine being in a red state and you want to start a family. What do? If Zay and Jess decide they want to have a family and they have 12 embryos on ice and they had successfully 3 kids, and they're like, oh, you know what, this is all we can afford. And he's like, yeah, I don't want any more of these children. We have enough kids. The state is now saying, no, you have to transfer the rest of these embryos because they're life. You cannot leave children on ice. And this is how they are trying to force, without thinking of the financial capability and the stability of the house or the health of the mother. Because every time she goes into this, it's a huge ordeal. If I showed you my closet of medication, it would really break you on how much I have to take. Think about having to do that every single time you get ready for a transfer of an embryo into her body, and the risk also if she gets pregnant, how black mortality is for black maternal mortality is for black women. They don't care about that, because if black women are passing off, if we're passing on, we're unaliving in that concept. We're not going to be bringing any more population to the planet. So that's not their concern. Their concern is that they have the numbers to play the game with white women's lives by making sure as many of them are using their ovaries as possible, as many times as possible. And that's why the states have stepped in and created these laws to pressure families or force families to have more children than what's necessary in many cases.
And we
One,
can't
to
even
keep them
afford. People
home.
can't even afford themselves. Bitch, I'm expensive. I am.
I'm
I
expensive.
was, because I'm speaking my life into the future as if it's now. But I was about a couple hours ago and before. I'm expensive, bitch. You know how hard it is to take care of me? Taking care of me is not an easy thing, bitch. Like, let me tell you something. My expenses, that's why I'll be it's roughly like 6,000 a month, bitch. And it's just me. Imagine if I have fucking kids. You forcing people into these positions. You're forcing them into poverty.
Yes, yes, and poverty, a
That's the
mass
truth.
population in poverty makes up an indefinite workforce of labor in either prisons, fields, or low-end jobs.
Especially when you're
They
dumb.
need that workforce.
Don't forget the military.
Oh, yes,
That's
and
why
the
they want everybody
military.
uneducated.
Now they're
And the
now they're
military.
pushing high schoolers and middle schoolers, like they're talking to them about joining the military. I've been seeing so many
Mhm.
videos that they're sending papers
I've seen
as
them.
young as fucking middle school. I will beat some ass. Now that's assuming taking care of a child. That's assuming that your child comes out perfectly healthy in all ways, mentally, physically. People are not accounting for families that have children with special needs, which is what the government
Yeah,
is
that.
attacking now.
Rise of crime
Exactly.
too. Yeah. And if rise of
Yeah.
crime, then I can
A
implement
rise
more
of
martial
crime.
law. It's a domino
Because then
effect.
there's more prisoners, there's more slaves, because that's per the Constitution. That's the only way you can get free labor, right
Mm-hmm.
there, per prisons. Now that's in a nutshell of what they really want for the replacement theory. And in the meantime, those who are wealthy are going to stay up in the higher tier, and they can afford to have kids at their leisure, and the laws won't necessarily apply to them. And you say that they say that they're going younger for the military, then that means that someone's tampering with the UCMJ, because you're not allowed to enlist children under the age of 16. You have to have a parent's waiver
I just
in
wanted to
order
add
to
one more
enlist.
thing, Free.
Yeah, boo.
I had a discussion with a Latino MAGA on I don't know if you guys know who Joey is, but Jess, you should also try to connect with Joey if you
Okay.
don't know him. I'll send him your live too.
Okay.
We were on his live, and this guy was trying to argue against AB, saying that life begins at conception, that's a whole ass human already, right?
No, that's
So Joey pulled up a picture of a dolphin ultrasound of of a dolphin embryo, and he's like, he was like, "Do you think this is live? You think this is a human?" And the guy was like, "Yeah, I do." He's like, "Motherfucker, this is a dolphin." It was so funny. I told him.
That's why I say debating, you'll start losing your morals. You'll just start agreeing to anything to try to prove your point. And then you're agreeing to fucking dolphins and shit. And then you feel fucking stupid. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta get something to eat. I'm about to
Me
shut down and get
too.
some last words, and my body is bodying. Body yaddy. We'll be on
I'm
live
getting
early
sick.
tomorrow because I gotta leave early and go see my niece off to um the thingy. And any last words, Adelia? I want y'all to keep it to like a minute or two. I know you don't.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh my
God! Thank you,
New York, New
Hybrid.
Jersey. Ooh, look at that galaxy. New York, New Jersey, all the other states that have elections going on, early voting, go out there and please go vote. Is important. See if your elderly neighbor needs a ride.
Mhm.
Talk to your neighbors and get them out there to vote, because everybody seems to forget that it's important to start at the bottom and work your way up. It's not just the flipping president, it's everything before that, because that's how they end up in the Senate and in Congress. They start low and they work their way up.
Mm-hmm. That's why I
So
say
we
run
need to
for
do that.
anything, even if it's school
Yes.
board, okay, alderman, mayor, city council. Run because that's where things can start, okay, and that's where you guys can distribute the money that does come from the federal government too. So just run for anything,
I know
bitch.
it's
They don't
I
even be
know it
having
sounds
names
stupid,
in.
but even running for PTA, because it gets your name out there when you're on the PTA, and then you can run for the school board, and then continue on from there. Especially the young moms in here. I'm old. My last kid is a sophomore, but if you start from even from there and work your way up, that's how they all do it. It's time for us to do the same thing
Mm-hmm.
and take over.
That way we can
So
also
go out and
too
vote.
control those books and see what they're
Yep.
teaching as well, even at starting at the PTA. Thank you so much,
I
Adelia.
appreciate you, Adela.
And one more thing, I'm not in for the purple. So sorry.
Not
You
in me
either on my
neither.
side or get the hell out my way.
That part.
Okay,
Lots of
I don't go
coconuts
for
with
that.
Adelia.
I don't go for that. Riding the fence. Oh, he my friend. You voted for MAGA. You voted for this. Fuck you. Get out my way. You
Mm-hmm.
and Donald Trump. Fuck you.
What did
Mm-hmm.
Cardi
And
B
good night,
say?
beautiful people.
Good night, baby.
Adela, what did Cardi B say?
Bella.
If you're not then you're just my
Yeah,
way.
if you ain't, who said, I'm feeling like a bad bitch all goddamn day. If you ain't my bitch, then you just a bitch in a goddamn way. If you ain't vote for Kamala, you just in a goddamn way. Okay, if you not voting blue, you voted for Trump, you in a goddamn way. KGR, any last words, Sloan?
Yeah, don't forget we have early voting is all this weekend in Virginia. Please vote for Abigail Spanberger for governor and Jake Jones for um, attorney general, and for Hashmi. I cannot pronounce her last name, so I'm not going to butcher it. Vote all blue. Down the line, all of your House of Delegates are up for reelection, so vote for them. Make sure you're voting for the right people. Also, just remember anyone who tries to talk about, oh, I'm in the middle, anyone who says that we should come together with fascists, kick them in the balls. Because how dare you tell me to come together with a fucking schnazi?
That part. And send me those names. Or if you and I'll make a video. And if you make a video, tag me in it or send it to me so I can repost it and post it up on to the Weird West Love just so people can know.
Okay, I will, and I'll put
Thank
on
you,
all the
Ella.
records and stuff. I've been literally sitting here like sending emails while everyone was talking, because I literally do this. I make sure everyone knows of events that are coming up. I'm door knocking all weekend. I'm getting people out. I am sick and tired of fence riders and Mr. Crash Out. Midjourney, he was hurt by a right wing white tea supremacist dude. Okay. That somehow that's the Democrats' fault. It's the Democrat they turned off the government with the Republican majority in both houses.
Yeah, he talking about how much power they have and how we lose them, and then so everything that's happened is your fault. But thank you so much, KGR. Always lending your expertise. I appreciate it, beautiful.
Already.
Good night. Zay, any last words, darling?
Love, I just want to say that I thank you very much for allowing me to come up and speak for the time that we were here.
Of course.
I'm also honored to join We Are What's Left organization. Very honored to do that.
Thank you
So
for being a
looking
part.
forward to what is it? November 12th.
Yes.
Wednesday, November 12th. I have put in that calendar. So I'll come up with a topic for us, to see we can cook up with a conversation there going.
For sure.
But thank y'all, everybody, for the love. I appreciate that very much. If you are in Texas, vote Isaiah Martin. That man is running for congressional district of Houston, so he can get into the Congress and start, giving these people some, a good piece of our minds. You know what I'm saying? So Isaiah Martin in Texas for Congress. If you are in Virginia, just like Kay said, Abigail Spanberger. And if you are in New York, you already know who's running for mayor. Zaron Mamdani. You know what I'm saying? So hey.
Also
do what y'all
too,
gotta do.
we have a ballot. We have a voting. We have a vote on the 4th. So really, pretty much no down the ballot. Some of the stuff sound like it looks good, and we'll talk about it again tomorrow in depth, like we did. We did a couple weeks ago with Angel. She's also from Dallas. We went into each proposition and talked about what it was about and what it was really going to do. So it's pretty much a no. They're trying to do amendments to the Texas Constitution. And I don't trust them to do any amendments while they are in office because nothing they do helps the people. So if you could vote early tomorrow, whatever, but November 4th is the last day to vote in Texas. And please vote no down the ballot. They're trying to make amendments to the Texas Constitution. They have like about 17 propositions. No, 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 no. Some of it may look like it sound good, and that's why we deep dive into it. We'll do it again tomorrow, but no down the ballot if you're in Texas this November 4th, and you can still go vote early. Thank you, Zay.
You heard her, everybody. You heard her. You do what you got to do. So thank you very much, Jessica. You have a good night.
You too. So y'all heard it. Zay's gonna be here, and we are What's Left Wednesday, November 12th. You guys, what'd you say, Free?
I said nice. I never met him before.
Yes,
I
yes,
didn't
yes,
know him
definitely.
at all.
Yeah, definitely check him out. Good content. Oh, and I love the way we putting the resources up on there too, because we love a good
Does
resource.
he do lives? Does
Mhm.
he do lives too?
Yes, he does do lives. I don't know
Okay,
how
that's what I'm saying.
frequently or consistently, or it may be early in the daytime, but he does do live as well. But he does push out a lot of political content for sure. So definitely give him a follow, you guys. And he'll next week will be SoCal Smitty. Week after that will be Zay, you guys. So thank you guys so much. Any last words to the beautiful Sahida?
Yes, I've been coughing up a lot.
Mhm.
I want I wanted to land on that one because I was on
Aw.
the panel actually with Jennifer.
Damn.
It's bad, I'm telling you. But I told him if life begins at conception and that is a human, then I think that everybody should start paying child support at conception. And he fought me and he said no. And I said, why not? And he said, well, because the baby's not born yet. I said, but he's alive. He's a human, right? From conception.
Right?
So why are we not taking care of that human? He couldn't. He had to fucking concede. He conceded and he said sexuality was a choice. And I said, can I convince you to be gay? I said, is there anything I can say to convince you to be gay right now? And he said, no. And I was like, why? He's like, because I'm straight. I said, so it's not a choice.
Hmm.
He was such an idiot. It's so listen, I don't do a lot of these super structured, back and forth with them. I just go straight for the logic and they cook themselves every time. It's
Mhm.
it's
So
kind of
easy to
sad.
do too.
What I was gonna say for the mayor of New Orleans, if I'm not wrong, um, her name is Elena Moreno, and apparently she's done a lot of stuff, like been a big advocate for the Black community and the brown community
Mm.
in New Orleans. I was happy to see that because I saw her picture and she looked extremely whitey. I wouldn't have known she was Mexican, right?
Mhm.
But apparently she's not whitewashed. So that was good news.
We love that. We love that because even with Blagger, like there's a lady in Virginia that is also to MAGA, and she Black, but that don't mean we need to be going to vote for her. So you're right. We have to do our research regardless. So we we take that, and we're gonna raid Brett Cross too when we get out of here, you guys. Cross 333. So get ready. Thank you so much, Saida. I appreciate you. I
Thank
love you.
you. I love you.
Mhm.
Oh, the baby. Little baby.
Oh, she's
Oh my
so cute.
god. She's so adorable.
Oh,
She's
hi. Can you do that?
He's so cute.
Mhm. Okay,
Oh my
good
god.
night. Any last words, Free? Thank you so much for being a part of Warrior What's Left and being here, so the people can see more of freedom. Freedom, I can't lose.
You know what? I like that song. That's one of the few songs I do like, with my name in it. But
Mhm.
no, I don't have any last words other than like, please feel free to join my lives. I don't ask for really. All right.
What'd she say?
She was reading her book and she was singing at the same time. She was singing a Doc McStuffin song at the same time. So, but she started to get really loud. Um, I am trying to fundraise right now for my IVF because the
Mm.
VA has stopped paying for most of it. So I'll start. I'll have to fundraise the next 3 weeks.
Mhm.
Because I need some kind of assistance with it because we're just kind of worried about my husband's lot. Okay, turn it up. We're worried about my husband's job actually. because he's a federal employee.
Mhm.
And so they're now looking at his agency. So we're just like, let's just try to, this is my last transfer. I'm not doing anymore after this. Whatever happens after this happens.
Mhm.
And I just have to accept that. But my lives are going right now Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays typically. Now and then I'll do a crash in Monday, and I'll make that Monday MAGA crash and
Mhm.
allow MAGAs to just come up on the panel and crash
Mhm.
out, and we'll just see what we deal with and if I can survive it. But other than that, I am still reading the Turner Diaries. I'm only on chapter 7 or 8.
Okay.
So if you do want to hear it come in, you haven't missed too much in the book, to be honest with you. And we haven't gotten to the revolution yet, of which they're talking about to this day, in which they install a president. So feel free to come by. You're always welcome. I always appreciate you coming through, Jess. You're always so sweet and
I love
supportive.
you.
I This is something when I asked you what is the whole end game of We Are What's Left. I remember you talking about trying to do something, and I
Mhm.
appreciate you trying to do this, and I appreciate Oya is trying to do too.
Mhm.
Because having as many alliances and networks out there as possible is important, and it's also safer.
Yeah.
So I appreciate everyone's time tonight, and I appreciate everyone's support. Um, if you need me, you know where to find me. I don't really have much to add. I'm so beat down. I'm
Me
so
too. I
beat down
love
today.
you.
I'm so beat down.
Good
Bye. You guys
night.
take care.
Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. That was a really good conversation, really good live. Shout out to Free to Be Me. If you're not following her, make sure you do so. That is our creator for We Are What's Left Wednesday today. Again, next week it'll be SoCal Smitty, and then the week after that, Zay, you guys. I'm gonna have to put out a calendar as they continue to fill up. I love you guys. Hold on. Okay, you're right. Let me go ahead and knock the other one out real quick. Thank you, you two, for tuning in. We appreciate you guys being here. We appreciate the love always. Make sure you subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and share the live with a friend. Use your comments and check out any of the other lives in the live playlist. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Bye.